when you do that.
I'll just say that may take 20 minutes to get it all chronologically savvy.
I could put on my Tina wig.
Oh, that'd be better. That'd be way better. Yeah.
All right. Everybody's good? Buddies, welcome back to another hot off the press, or hot to the press, or hot on the press, I don't know, episode of Surface Noise, our bi-weekly live stream where we just get together, vinyl community talk, topics, pickups, everything and anything in between. I'm joined by some of my regulars and a new face. I'm really excited he's joining us this week. So let's kick it off. We've got our friend David Bianco from Safe and Sound Texas Audio Excursion. David, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well.
Wow, that is the sexiest t-shirt I've probably ever seen you wear.
Okay, that's $5. Okay, go ahead.
For our viewers at home, he's wearing the custom-made Concert Buddy t-shirt, which I believe two of our panelists actually have, if I'm not mistaken.
I could tell that you licked when you put this one on. You licked it on.
Yeah, so now I have a problem. How come I don't have a custom Concert Buddy t-shirt?
Arnaldo, we'll get to you. Let me get through the introductions.
The first one.
Don't attack me with the pitchforks just yet. That's for later. All right, so then we've got Jason Rojas joining us. Jason, how are you doing, pal?
Doing all right. You know, I'm untouchable now.
Oh, wow.
Wow. All right. Now, Arnaldo, how are you doing? Arnaldo and his channel, Fidelius_frequency. Good to see you.
Hey, guys. How are you?
At the end of this, I'll get your shirt size. We'll get you in the production mix. I gotta talk to my production manager, aka my wife, and we'll get you in the loop.
Cool.
And then special guest. So excited. I wish it was under better circumstances, but we have some topical news. I want to get Tavis's feedback on. This is Tavis Minner from the YouTube channel Vinyl Talk with Tavis. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing really good under the circumstances, but I'm glad to see you as always.
Oh man, you always make me smile, Tavis. You got the Midas touch when it comes to that. So, I'd like to welcome all our viewers coming in. We've got Wyoming Dave is there. Looks like Malaya is there. There's Malaya. Malaya also a Missourian.
Wow.
So we've got Tavis in Kansas City. We got me in St. Louis, and we got Malaya. It's kind of I guess she's central part of the state, but
I think I've seen Malaya on Instagram. Yeah.
She's everywhere and anywhere. All right, Caesar, how's it going, pal?
Hey, Caesar.
Marsha, good to see you. Hello there.
Marsha.
Hey, I'm telling you what, if you haven't seen Marsha's channel, she's awesome. I highly recommend checking out Marsha's channel.
What's her channel name?
In Florida. All right. So let's. Oh, I'm sorry. Go.
What's her channel name? Is it just Marsha P? What's her channel name?
Something like that.
Oh, he's froze.
Marsha, tell us. Hello.
Oh no.
Oh, no, you're good. I hear you.
Is her name Marsha P? What is her channel?
I think it's Marsha P. Yeah, it's just
really?
Look. I think Marsha P. Let's do like a search of Marsha P. Vinyl. Marsha, if you want to put your channel link in there, we'll gladly promote you up there. Oh, Scott Wilson, the Pressing Matters, is joining us. Scott, we just had a wonderful chat, which is being really well received on Vinyl Community Podcast. Cheap plug, but good to join us, Scott. All right, enough of the social stuff. We had a kind of a run of show going. We had some topics like we always try to do, a little homework. There's a little preparation involved. You'll notice that Jose Moreno Ron is not joining us. Apparently he's getting married, and I completely missed the information. I thought he was making music, which he's done before, and bailed on us. I thought maybe he's making babies. I thought maybe he was making music. I don't know. But then I reread the email, so I want to give Jose congratulations. This will probably come out. I think he's getting married tomorrow, which is Friday. Yeah. This will probably be on the pod next week. So congratulations in front and congratulations behind to Jose. Is one of our favorites here. Wow. Anyway, so we do a little preparation. We've got topics. We're all ready to talk about some of the stuff, and we'll get into that. But we had some really unfortunate news hit us yesterday. I was in the middle of an actual interview for the podcast, which will come out later, but I was completely oblivious. I was in a silo. I was immune to the news. And then, and we'll get into it, it sounds like some of our other panelists here found out was just social media, just word of mouth, etc. So we lost the legend that was Tina Turner. Tina, the Queen of Rock. Is it safe to say Tina, the Queen of Rock?
I would say so.
I mean, easily. I mean,
who else could there be? I mean,
She was called the Queen of Rock and Roll.
There up. See, there it is. So let's just kind of go around the dais and let's talk about memories of Tina. What she represented. I know for St. Louis boy, she was from East St. Louis, connected with Ike, and they got married. And there's actually a great live album from I think the late 50s that they did the live review from Club Imperial, which is a now defunct club in the north side of St. Louis. But let's start. Tavis, you're a guest. We'll start with you, Tavis. How did you find out, and how are you feeling? Because I know you're a big Tina fan, a soul enthusiast. Where's your head at today?
And well, first of all, because I was born in '72, so I was a teenager when she came out with Private Dancer. I wasn't really aware of her until the Private Dancer album, and so that's when MTV hit strong and VH1, and so I see this woman with this strange, crazy hair, and I go to the record store about I was about 13, 14. Yeah, and then I go to the record store and buy this record. I'm like, oh, it's so sexy, blah, 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 and I bring it home. And then I take it to middle school. And me and this friend of mine, who's now the superintendent of the same school, he stayed in the school and stayed in town and became the superintendent. Me and him would always argue about her hair. He said, oh, her hair is so ugly. I said, don't you talk about Tina. We always had these discussions. But I found out that she had passed yesterday when I was looking on my phone. I always seem to find out that people are passing these days with social media. Michael Jackson, I found out the same way. Whitney Houston, David Bowie, everyone. And so when I saw Tina Turner's official Instagram page pop up, I said, oh, what's Tina talking about? What is she? Then it said, rest in peace. I started crying. I kept listening to Private Dancer over and over again, which is my favorite album of hers. Mm-hmm. And of course, Simply the Best. And I've just been playing her music on piano and listening to the strength of her voice, and her story is just captivating. And I'll say this, and then I'll be sure to not take up all the time. I just found out through an interview that on her album Private Dancer, the song I Might Have Been Queen was supposed to be a duet with David Bowie. But however, when he found out the title, he said, no, I'll just let you be the queen. And I found that was very interesting. She said, yes, he was supposed to do the duet with me because they met in Switzerland and they became great friends. Mm. So that was something new. So I always learn something new when I really delve into the history when someone passes away.
For sure. So Arnaldo, where were you when you found out, and what were the first feelings, thoughts, etc. that came to mind when you heard that this legend had passed?
Well, actually, I was at work, and my company sent out an email because she's one of our clients. We're related to the Tina Turner business. So I found out about it. I realized probably a half hour before the rest of the world did, because I checked CNN and other news media, and I didn't see the news on there. So for a minute, I kind of questioned why the company would be sending out a company-wide email announcing it when, the major outlets hadn't. But I guess they were just fact-checking and trying to figure out if it was real or not before breaking the news like that. So, yeah, I knew she was ill. I think many people knew she was ill for quite some time. And it came as a shock. It came as a surprise, but not as a shock, because I knew she wasn't doing well for quite a bit. And my first memory of Tina Turner. So I'm a little bit older than Tavis. So in the mid 70s, I was, probably around 8 years old. And I will never forget tuning in. It was I think it was like an early evening channel that had like a variety show. I don't know if it was Soul Train or
Solid Gold or something like that.
Solid Gold or a Cher
variety show.
I don't
Sure.
know which one it was. I just remember seeing this woman on stage with the slinkiest outfit. And I was dancing like crazy. giving the performance like I had never seen before. And I was like just staring at the screen, captivated, because it was something that I had never seen before like that. I mean, she was pushing, I think, the boundaries of sexuality, even not sexuality, trying to be sexy and provocative in the 70s when they were still kind of quite conservative on TV, especially. Because we only had 3 major networks back then, so it was like it's not like it was some obscure channel that she was on. It was probably a major network. And then I don't even remember the song. I just remember visually that she looked fantastic and like nobody else I had seen on TV. And then fast forward to, I think it was like 1984, 85 when this came out.
There it is. Private Dancer.
Private Dancer. Let's try and get it in without some glare. Here we go.
Yeah, we'll make you big. Let's put you.
Yeah,
there you go.
Look at those legs. I mean, wow.
Here's the legs.
Hang on.
The legs.
These are for our viewers. If you're watching,
you're
getting the full Monty of these legs. I mean, what a great pair of legs for
So,
sure.
this is like Tavis was mentioning before. This is American cover. The European cover was different. At the time when this came out, I was in Europe, so I always wanted to get this one. And I don't even know why, because it has one less song than the European version.
You're right.
The European version had a cover of Help. The Beatles' Help.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, there's an extra song on that album.
Yeah.
So, but I just like this cover a lot better. I don't know why.
Does that end with 1984?
Yeah, they both had 1984, right?
Yeah.
But I think, this has 1984, and so does the European version. But that one also had a cover of Help, which is like it's more like a gospel version of Help. Mm-hmm. She made it her own, Oh,
yeah.
So, yeah. And actually, the song that kind of introduced me to this album was not What's Love Got to Do With It. It was actually the first single, Let's Stay Together. And
Al Green song, yeah.
And I didn't even know the version of Al Green. I didn't know it because I was young.
Wow.
And my
Reverend
friend
Al,
who worked at a record store, knew that I was a big fan of Heaven 17 and Human League. And the 2 guys from Heaven 17 are the ones who produced Let's Stay Together. And they also produced on here, I think they did 1984. Yeah. So they produced 2. He was like, oh, listen to what they did. And that was the first time I heard a track from Private Dancer.
So Eddie's got an interesting thing. And maybe you guys know this. I do not. He said, my first memory of Tina Turner was her portrayal of the Acid Queen on the Who's.
That's right. And I think that's my second actually. Nice. I forgot about that. Yeah, I saw her on TV first, and then my older brother dragged us to see The Who in the theaters, and I was like totally shocked, and my mom was horrified. She was like telling my brother, "We're not going to see you in any movies that you pick anymore.
No more of your choices. No more of your choices."
It wasn't me. It was my older brother who wanted to see it.
That's funny. So David, what are your thoughts?
I'm the old guy here.
Yeah, so. let's go to Old Fart Radio.
Old Fart Radio, exactly.
No, but it's unfortunate. Like when these legends pass, that like we haven't heard from for years. She intentionally. There was that documentary that was on HBO maybe 2 years ago, I want to say, but she deliberately was leading a very private life. Maybe it was health related. I know she got remarried, had a nice provincial estate, I think in Switzerland.
Switzerland, yes.
Right. So she made a very conscious effort to remove herself from the private life for whatever reason, or public life, I should say.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate because now the only here she is. Unfortunately, it's her passing as we're talking about the artist, and and we'll talk about this a little bit. The artists that have skipped a generation, like I'm sure the younger generation than the folks on this dais maybe know the name, maybe they don't, and so now they're playing catch up. I saw that the top 2 downloaded songs on iTunes, as always seems to happen, are Tina songs, right?
Yeah.
So David, what are your thoughts and recollections, and where did you find out that?
Well, I it came up on my phone yesterday, and I saw it, and my first thought was, man, this is getting redundant. It seems like every week, we're getting somebody in the, music community or film, and of course, these people are all ones that, I grew up with to a large part. I got to know who Tina Turner was in 71 when they released a 45 on Liberty Records called Proud Mary. Now, I had heard Proud Mary by CCR in 69, and it didn't sound anything like her version because they stopped in the middle and went, and it was just like totally different. It was just so cool. And that's how I got to know her. And then it was almost like they faded a little bit. They really didn't, they had that big peak. And then you would hear some of their stuff on the black radio stations in the Chicago area where I grew up. But it wasn't until, her, what I call her second career, when she got away from Ike, which she should have got away from a lot sooner, but sure, we don't need to go there. But, she really remade herself. It's like, I was remembering, Private Dancer, that was written by Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits, right? Wow. Jeff Beck played on that. And my buddy Umberto Gatica, he was the remix guy on that song.
Actually, David, I think almost everyone of Dire Straits at the time, but Mark Knopfler played on that track.
Ah, okay. Could
be. Guitar?
I'm sorry?
Did Mark play the guitar?
No, Jeff Beck played guitar.
Jeff Beck played
the and if you... And when I was
Alan Clark,
to it,
okay,
I don't want to say it's leftover from the song "Love Over Gold," but the melody is very similar.
Mm-hmm.
There's a part of the chorus that's very similar, and it may be a reworking of "Love Over Gold." I think I read it one time on Wikipedia, the whole background of the Private Dancer song.
Yeah. I think that song was kind of came late in the project even, and it just seemed to fit for her at the time. But that really, resurgences in careers, that's not that easy to do. But she was like a new person to a lot of people. They didn't know who she was. So she came out of the blue to a lot of folks. So it was really, I think there, a lot of, you think about when that came out and kind of women in music and really, the ones that were independents, the Cyndi Laupers, those, folk, they were
Madonna was breaking out.
Yeah, right. So it was really, you caught that jet stream kind of, that was going on. And she really, brought I think the ability of people to think, well, age isn't the issue, talent is the issue.
Amen.
And she had plenty of it. And so, she had great energy. That's the thing about her always that, for me, she just had a great energy and a big smile. And I just hope she didn't suffer long. That's all I could say.
For sure. Now, Jason, I think you and I are probably the young guns on this dais.
All right. So 1984, I was like 6 or 7. I had this cassette.
Wow. Pulling out a Private Dancer cassette coming in clutch.
There it is, Jason.
So
where's your 8-track?
I think the cassette was cheaper than the record at the time. Private Dancer, like I watched MTV, they played Private Dancer. Now that is
I was gonna bring up MTV because, like we were talking about Cyndi Lauper, Madonna, like it was just a different time because. Obviously 40, the radio is how you heard about a lot of artists, but then to add the visual component and the people who did it great, Cyndi Lauper, Madonna, Tina Turner, the people who didn't, Billy Squier, right? You know what I mean? Like it really was a different time in how we learned and consumed music. But anyway, sorry, MTV. Jason, go ahead.
She just stood out, and that's the thing. Like the whole video, her hair, the look of the jean jacket, the legs, everything. She was like an icon. And I didn't know her past with Ike, Ike Turner and all this, so I just see this person, great voice, can sing, that album's pretty good, She does cover what Ann Peebles, I Can't Stand the Rain. Of course, Bowie, 1984, right? Of course, your hit song, What's Love Got to Do with It? You know, I think that song was very popular because of her background, her context.
Exactly.
Right? Okay, so, but I didn't know that. You know, I was just
really?
a kid,
Okay.
6 or 7 years old. I
Same,
really liked the song, you know. And I remember that video is very dramatic too, right? Because she, you know, that one and Private Dancer, like she's the dancer, right? And she's like getting made up and stuff and wondering if she can keep this up. Like I remember that video. It's kind of like deep too, you know?
Yeah.
Man. But I want you to show this. I put it in the private chat. So I was wondering, my friend and I were listening to Ike, you know, well, just Tina Turner music. And we were like, what happened to Ike? What was Ike doing? You know? We found out that Ike released this record in 1980.
Oh,
so,
hang on. Now you gave me a technological challenge. Hang on a second. Hang on. Now we're going
you have to share your screen if you got it.
I do. Yeah, I have to get my browser going.
We can do that too. You know, we could take that link and share.
Nah, I got you.
Okay.
All right.
So I want you to hit the cover because so
Oh my.
this is amazing because I had to find out what was Ike doing? What was he doing? And he had this record.
So this is called Ike Turner The Edge, and it looks like a razor blade shining is the front cover. Is that safe to say?
Right. I believe this is one of his last records featuring Tina Turner. Now, you could tell that people forget, like during this time, Ike was deep in the thrones like Rick James into cocaine. So, I mean, this is a double edge. Get it?
Yeah.
So you could tell, like, yeah, he is doing some things. Now, Chance, can you go back to the song list? Like, this is amazing.
Oh,
so,
this is interesting.
This is awesome. Like, my friend and I heard the songs there. She covers Shame, 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 which is what, Sylvia or Shirley and Company?
Yeah, Sylvia Robinson, yeah.
Yep. So Shirley Company, she's got like a high voice, like Shame. She's like very high pitch. And then when Tina covers it, it's like so deep, like, whoa, like you couldn't believe it. Lean on Me. Now, she covers Elton John's Philadelphia Freedom. Amazing. Like that version that's on here. And then Alice Cooper, right? Only Women Bleed. When you hear the live version that's on YouTube, that is off the charts. You can't even touch it. Like it's like, how do I say it? It's like Otis Redding, he wrote Respect, right? That song. And then Aretha takes it to the next level.
Yes.
This is the same thing. Like Alice Cooper sings it and it's got that kind of gory, kind of like Halloweenish thing, theatrical, right? When Tina sings the song, it's like mind blowing.
Jason, are you saying that Tina is on this album?
Yes, she is on the first side of this record.
Write it down. Jason cost me about $40 every show.
And then the second.
Did she know she was going to be on this album?
Nope, she did not. I
knew it.
So this is during the time but this is before '84, right? So she was still trying to build her life back together, and you could see at this point Ike was just taking advantage of their old recordings, right? The B-side is mostly just instrumentals, but I can tell you for a fact these instrumentals are dope. They're just amazing.
Okay.
You know? And despite their drama, and like no one should be beaten. No one, no. Like, no. You know, Ike Turner, bad. But still musically talented. And this album will show it. So
it was the paradox of Ike Turner, right? Like talented musician, but kind of a bad human.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how else to say it, right?
So I recommend this record. I mean, if I'll put like the
25 of them from $4.79.
You can do it, Chance. Let's get these, and we're gonna get them and beat the market because
then flip them like a pancake.
Looks like one sold yesterday, so we got to get on this, Tavis. Come on.
Yeah, this is going to be.
There's 28 people watching. So.
Oh no!
Oh, shit. Sorry, guys, we're going to end the stream so we can go buy these.
And stream over.
So, Chance, since you are the owner, let me put the link, and then maybe you can share it in the chat.
Happy to. Yep.
So let me get this.
And now Private Dancer is like on eBay, $125.
I hate that.
I hate, honestly, I really loathe. This is kind of the seedy underbelly of when a legend or a musician passes. I call it the death tax. is that because honestly, because if you were on the fence or just hadn't went to acquire that title or that album from that artist,
Yeah, why start now?
As soon as they pass, Arnaldo was talking earlier about, they found out about Tina's passing before like the major media was releasing it. If I hear about this stuff, and not all the time, I hate to say it, but the first place I'll go is Discogs, because you better get them before, like Tavish, you made a great point, because when everybody finds out, here comes the death tax and trying to capitalize. And it's unfortunate, but it happens. And it's not just this, it's movies. It's
right.
I heard the Wax flew to Switzerland today to pick up a collection.
Unconfirmed and alleged. I want to be very clear. We don't have the law firm to back all this.
Okay.
So anyway.
Chance, can you highlight Lawrence's comment about Mad Max now?
Hang on, let me go here. Let's see.
I've got to watch that now. And
that was a good one.
Lawrence says, I always loved We Don't Need Another Hero, the soundtrack song from Mad Max. It was tremendous. I mean, exactly what David was talking about earlier is that this rebirth, and Jason even hit on it too, like for the uninitiated, it was like a whole second career. And so she was one of those, and I guess Elvis kind of did it too, but she really, because she had that period, if you watch that documentary on HBO, which is conveniently on the front page of Max right now, if you go to that streaming service. But there was that period when she left Ike and she was doing anything and any kind of work she could get. And then when Private Dancer came as like a rocket ship, and she was already in that hustle mode. So she was taking movies that were offered to her, collaborations, musically. She did a lot of duets. What was it? Did she do one with George Michael, I want to say? Or I might be thinking
of Aretha Franklin.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think you'll be waiting for me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But she was, so she hustled hard. She was making that for a long time. Oh, this is it. Yeah. So she did the one Bryan Adams. Yes. So Tina.
Oh yes.
Bryan Adams. Only Love.
Love.
Great duet. Because you think of the '80s, you had like those two stars. Even that story that we heard earlier about David Bowie and Tina, right? Like they were always trying to pair up these two, like so they could sing off each other. So respect for Bowie to be like, yo.
but Bowie did have her on the Tonight album. They sang on the song Tonight.
Oh wow.
Yes, and it's interesting that the version that's on the studio album, like Tonight, she's almost like harmony vocals. It's not a duet. They're kind of singing together. But when you hear, there's also a live version out there that they did together. I tend to prefer the live version because I don't know, you hear more of Tina, you hear the back and forth with David Bowie a little bit. And they did duet together.
I know we're talking about Private Dancer, but I really enjoyed, I think it was her last album her last studio album. Is it called 24? Can someone look that up for me and see her last studio album? And she's like standing really regally with black pants and a white shirt. And no, that's her last album. I think it was
Jason's on it. Jason's he leads our R&D team, so he's on it
24/7.
What's it called?
24/7.
Yeah, 24/7.
There it is.
Man, that was, I could tell her voice was changing big time, but I really love that album. It's really great. I wish that was on vinyl.
Well, I have a feeling it probably will be within the next. I hate to say it again. Here we go. Opportunistic, right?
Yeah.
I do. Before we switch topics, I do want to shout out our friend Jose. Is clearly not busy enough preparing to get married tomorrow. He's like a chubby kid and some candy. He just could not resist the pull of this live stream. So Jose, again, we all wish you best luck tomorrow. Have a lot of fun, drink a lot, dance a lot,
make babies,
do that other stuff a lot. If in 9 months time, if you've got, and Chance is a great name. It's a bi-gender name. So if you have a nice little girl, nice little boy, think about it. That's all I'm saying. No problem. All right. And Jason, yeah, you did send me that link. Oh, you saw the YouTube of covers Alice Cooper. Cool.
Yeah. So if you can share that in the chat, since you are the owner.
I am the owner of this operation. So let me do that. Boom, boom.
Somebody wants to see Tina Turner cover Alice Cooper from the Edge.
And don't you love how she really pushed the envelope and just didn't? She just didn't stay with the black artist. She pushed her way into the rock and roll
cross genre,
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember her singing when she left Ike. It's like, forget the black folk. I mean, I don't mean to say it like that.
Right,
But even she said she felt more popular when she left Ike. She felt more popular outside of the United States.
Mm-hmm. And there was that wonderful movie with Angela Bassett, What's Love Got to Do with It, which was, I mean, that was another, again, think of the stepping stone of, because, that was early 90s. So maybe some of that 80s luster was starting to fade, and then a whole new generation learned a story like Jason was talking about. A lot of people didn't know that backstory and didn't know she had a whole career before Private Dancer, before MTV, all that kind of stuff. So, and
she said she was more popular in those states. She was more popular than the Beatles. So she said, she said
she didn't say Jesus.
She said, I'm more popular than Madonna outside the United States. So that's where she decided to move. Wow.
Well, she got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in '91 when it meant something. So that's good.
Oh, you mean when not everyone's getting in now? It's the Hall of Very Good. Yeah,
I mean people who actually had rock and roll chops.
For sure. Yeah, you're so right. So right.
All right, guys. Well, I'm sorry, Jason, you're gonna say one more thing?
Well, I just think people tend to forget. Like, I mean, I wasn't born in that era, but like people associated her with Ike, right? So it was always the Ike and Tina Turner review, right? So then when she went solo, like she had a hard time kind of, nobody wanted to work with her because they always thought it was Ike and Tina,
Mm-hmm.
So she had no respect, and I think Europe took her on because she's great, right? She's
exactly,
amazing singer, entertainer, performer, because like Ike was just playing guitar in the background. Like she was the one with the Ikettes dancing, like just pure energy,
And I do have a story about Little Richard. He mentions when he became he went back into the ministry to preach, and he was interviewed, and the interviewer says, "Aren't you going to get back? Tina Turner's back." It was during that time when Private Dancer came back, and he said, "No, listen, Tina, me and her are pretty much the same age, but I tell you what, she can lift those legs all she wants to, but if I try to, my legs probably won't come back down." So it's amazing how even they knew each other, and he cheered and applauded her for being an older woman at that time. But hey, y'all, it's amazing to me. Our generation has changed. We can't even imagine who is in their 40s in the top 40 or top 10 these days. What's going on? Have they forgot about us?
I think so.
Maybe not Jason. I mean,
they're waiting for
the vinyl community has not forgotten about those acts, but I could tell you the popular radio has, and popular culture in a lot of ways has, for sure.
So sad. Sad.
Well, let's move from a sad topic to an interesting topic, and that is the news came out, I believe it was last week, that another combatant has entered the global arena of audiophile, quote-unquote, pressings when it comes to vinyl, and that's Rhino, who does very good reissue work, but now they've decided to kind of enter the mobile fidelity, analog productions, audiophile space. And it was a very interesting launch point because, they are using all the buzzwords. They're only selling these titles so far. They're site exclusive. So that's interesting. So they're not doing a wholesale strategy. Nope. So they're only selling them on their website. They're $40, which seems to kind of be, if you look at the Tone Poets, I mean, that kind of seems to be the entry point for quote unquote audiophile recording. But it was a very curious couple of titles they chose to kind of launch this product. And one was The Cars, self-titled 1978 release, which, and if you guys feel differently, I feel that's a very common record that can be found very easily for far south of $40. And then the other title was Coltrane's Sound, John Coltrane 1964, which I don't even want to go down the jazz rabbit hole because it can get kind of expensive. So maybe there's a market. I'm sure there's a market. There's the name Coltrane, right? But let's kind of just dig into that. Jason, what when you heard this, I mean, what's the first thing you thought? Did you think about those game shows where they put you in a glass booth and the cash is going and here's the executives trying to capitalize on this audiophile craze? What do you think?
Chance, can you show the link? I put the link in the private chat.
So private. Hang on.
He's a private chatter.
I am a private chatter. Hang on a second.
A private dancer.
Jason making me work. Making me work today. I'm earning my money. I'm earning it. All right, let's go.
What do you work for, Rhino? Sit down, Jason.
So if you don't know, this is it, right? So if we look closer at this, I mean, what does that look like? Looks like Vinyl Me Please.
Is this
what? Vinyl Me Please? No way! Like OBI strip.
This jacket. Is Vinyl Me Pretty Please.
Right. Mastered by a, like cut by a, name engineer, like Kevin Gray.
You know why they picked the cars, don't you?
Why?
Because the MoFi is so freaking bad.
Really?
Oh, it's horrible.
I mean, I have it. I don't think it's great, but is that really why they chose the title?
It puts the whore in horrendous. I mean,
oh man.
I mean, I'm telling you, it's.
But wasn't the Cars catalog one of the few that was actually cut from analog of the MoFi?
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a silver label, I think.
And I believe in the infamous interview with the engineers, they said that those were from analog and they felt like they did a good job on them. Just quoting.
No, for sure. No, I
haven't heard any of the Cars MoFis, but
I think
mine's so bad. I think I'm about ready to pay somebody to take it.
Don't forget to tip your waiters and waitresses. David here all night, everybody.
I mean, I've got a Nautilus. I got OGs and I got the Nautilus of it, and they just smoked the hell out of the MoFi.
What songs are on this album? I can't see.
Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. I don't know if I can make that any bigger. Let's see.
Just go back one. I think you.
Don't worry, you're not missing anything.
Got tonight.
Oh, okay.
Good times roll. My best friend's girl. Just what I needed. I'm in touch with your world.
Just what I needed is on here. I'm not familiar with the first album.
Hang on a second.
Moving in stereo, which is classic.
You guys are making me really hustle here. I gotta find this. Hang on.
I like the video where he's trying to get the girl and he's really.
That's my favorite album. That's Heartbeat City. That's the one.
That's Drive.
That's what they.
You talking about Drive?
Yeah, Heartbeat City.
Yeah, that was written and sung by Benjamin Orr, not Rick Ocasek, ironically. So
Tavis, one of the best songs on here is "Bye Bye Love." Like the guitar solo on here is incredible.
I'm gonna be honest. This is one that, to me, when I was growing up, my mom played the hell out of this, and this is one of those albums, and I think, in my opinion, they're few and far between that start to finish. You don't want to skip a track because it's literally every song is a great song. It's very rare. Sometimes you'll get 95% of the album is great, and there's like a one throwaway or the artist wanted to throw a ballad to sing to their stripper girlfriend or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But this is one of those albums that I remember from childhood. It was just like we never forwarded. We sometimes went back, I guess, if you wanted to hear a song, but start to finish, this is so I appreciate where their head's at from that level, if it's even involved, but. You can find this again. Like I said earlier, this is not a hard record to find.
Absolutely, that cover is so popular. I mean, come on.
The question becomes, and I'll open up to you guys, and this kind of will lead into our reissue conversation. I wanted to lead in for the back half of the. Is reissues, is it getting out of hand? And I say that because if you're new to vinyl and you go, and because I noticed this today in one of my local stores, Vintage Vinyl, Tavis, I took you there when you came in. Is that there's far less used inventory in some of these bigger shops. And so when you have people coming in who are new to the hobby, who are, kind of learning about vinyl, getting into vinyl, I do think the reissue provides a service because it does provide availability, but it also kind of, and I think maybe Jason will kind of follow this up too, is that nobody really wants to work to find these titles. If it's just easier to find the easily available title, where's the joy in the hunt, right? So let's put you in that. But anyway, so curious your guys' thoughts on this Rhino piece, and then kind of the bigger conversation about reissues and what you guys feel about the reissue craze that we're inundated with right now.
It's opportunistic, really. I mean, here's the thing. That, Rhino is Warner Electro Atlantic. They don't have to pay a sub-licensing fee like Chad does or like MoFi does or whatever. So they've got that. They've got pressing arrangements already set with plants. I mean, they've got a much higher profit margin opportunity right out of the box. Now, the day this got announced, I happened to be record shopping, and I went to 5 shops, and in 5 shops, I found one Cars album. across 5 shops.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. So what's out there anymore isn't quite as at your fingertips, maybe.
We may remember, sure.
And people don't want to be driving around looking for stuff. And the other thing is, when you say Kevin Gray did something, I mean, these guys, their rates. I looked at the rates of these guys. It's nothing. They could get 3 times what they're asking for their rates. It's these mastering engineers that have a name. I mean, as soon as you say it, it's just kind of automatic pilot, right?
Well, that seems to be the formula, right, with these reissue campaigns.
Absolutely.
And Steve Carlson, full credit to Steve Carlson, who has a great podcast with his friend Jim Gleason. This is an indirect shout out to Steve and Jim Gleason's 2 guys talking about records. Is Kevin Gray is almost on everything now. And Kevin Gray must not sleep. He must not eat. They've cloned him because, honestly, if it's not Bernie, it's Kevin. If it's not Kevin or Bernie, it's Ryan Chris Bellman. Chris Bellman. It's like the Mount Rushmore of engineers, and it's one of these marketing things that I feel. I mean, trust me, I'm glad these guys are involved. These guys have great ears and do great work, but you almost can't turn 5 feet in a record store without seeing that hype sticker on whatever title, and it's one of these guys, right?
Right.
Well, they know what sells and they know what doesn't. AAA sells. I mean, that sells, and MoFi helped that.
So here I wrote down some of these marketing jargon, and tell me if I'm leaving any out. But these seem to be the secret sauce, like the Colonel Sanders herbs and spices of what makes one of these reissues enticing.
What's your original? Oh, sorry.
But it's AAA. You hear that one, exclusive, and some of these are being used in these Rhino reissues. Limited amount.
Yes.
Limited edition. Exactly, Tavis. Kevin Gray, 180 gram, 45 RPM, color variant, tip-on jacket. I mean, am I missing any?
Yes, you are.
They're individually numbered. These are
original master.
Yeah.
These are individually numbered, by the way, as well.
Yes.
And I have definitely fallen into the trap.
We all have. It's
easy. And especially when, of course, when someone that we love, of course, if they pass away, I wouldn't be surprised if they have a color Tina Turner. And, guess what?
Yeah.
But when I received this, okay, I don't know if you all know this. Have y'all familiar with this?
Olivia Newton-John. Yeah. Greatest hits.
But yeah, I didn't know that this was out. And then it's colored. I'm like, oh my heavens, it's pink. It's so pink. Beautiful. I'm like, well, at least someone sent this to me. I said, I would have bought that. Then, of course, you have Donna Summer, her greatest hits. It's colored. It's like, okay, come on, people. Just give me the black vinyl and I'll be happy. But no, give me the color so I can spend $50 more on it.
Yes.
I got 4 or 5 copies of the same album. It's like,
it looks like the same PMS color of pink too. So there's not even originality in these shades of pink.
But are they donating anything to breast cancer awareness? That's what I don't know.
Just to show you that there is a variant. Hold on.
All right.
Read me forward.
Got it.
Tell me that these are 2 different colors, because I thought I was crazy.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, they're 2 different. One's more violet than the other.
Okay.
The one on your right is more violet.
Oh yeah. I fall in that trap, and I hate it. Oh my God.
Tavis, I just want to correct you on one thing.
Yes.
The key word is not bring me forward, make me big. That's the phrase. Make me big.
Tavis, I was picking up what you were putting down. We all good, man.
That's what she said. Okay.
Bring it forward.
But Jason, what's back to you? Like, because this is one of the topics that you push forward, and I think it's a good topic to talk about, this reissue craze, and in some ways I think it's valid. Again, you have people who are new to the hobby. Availability is important. However, like David said, there is a sense of maybe there's a little over leveraging some of these catalogs, and maybe he's going to the shelf. So
should we go for big winners first, and then
let's do it. Let's do it. Big winners.
So the thing is, like, we all cannot get this. We all cannot.
Oh, for Pete's sake! Here we are again.
We all
turquoise Led Zeppelin. This is Jason's going to have this buried with him when
we cannot. we cannot get this record. So then we go for the reissue, right? And it's Again,
Oh,
this isn't
okay.
bad, you know. Like
Jason, I hate to burst your bubble. You know what the next Rhino limited title is going to be? It's going to be the turquoise Led Zeppelin.
Jason's gonna lose his. That's like his calling card. No, Arnaldo, say it's not so.
No, let me call Rhino right now. After this.
And we're praying that Jimmy Page is not involved in the remastering.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, it's no different than this. 1982, right? I paid $16.95 for this thing.
So that's the original mobile.
So, right. So my point is,
Dark
the reissue craze started a long, long time ago.
No,
It's all about Marcus, and they're watching the world go by
Yes.
with these other labels, and they're going, shit, these are our records. What are we doing?
So this is a fantastic record. This by itself, when it came out, Werewolves of London, I think this one has that the Guns Lawyer song. I think it's great. Now, was this? Let's show it. Was this necessary? Okay, was this necessary? I don't know. Like, does it even sound as better as the original? Well, that's debatable.
That's the question. Does it sound better, Jason?
I think, you know what? I'm getting to the point now where some of the stuff sounds good and then some of it doesn't actually. And I wonder,
because I was really upset with this one, everybody. I was really upset with the sound of this.
Okay.
I don't know how you feel. This
is Elton John Diamonds. Okay.
This compilation record, the sound is so, it just sounds
muffled.
awful.
Okay.
But the original album sounds so beautiful. But it's like they just put this together right quick. He was going. I don't know what happened. But I bought it, and
Their digital remasters is part of the problem.
Yeah, you're right.
So
yeah.
Can I put my 2 cents in?
Absolutely.
I'm just upset that I have to buy it from Rhino, and I can't just walk into a store and buy it.
Yeah.
That makes me really upset that I have to buy it from Rhino. No, but all fun aside, I think actually 5,000 is not a big run. And especially for a company like Rhino, they're trying to do something very niche. And I think actually $40 is not a bad price point, considering the run that they're doing.
Sure.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen afterwards. They may do the budget version since they already have the mastering from AAA. They may come out with the $25 version on regular cardboard with no booklet, not gatefold. They may use the stampers again because, I mean, like David said, they're investing in contracting with Kevin Gray to only cut 5,000 albums. I mean, that's not even a MoFi run. You know what I mean?
Well, I think too, and tell me what you guys think. Remember, Kraft got into a little trouble because they were doing their one steps. I forget the name at the top of my head, but remember they started with that press run so low that they were selling out in a nanosecond, and there was such red hot heel heat from the marketplace that I think that, to your point, Arnaldo, 5,000 is not a ton, but it's also enough to kind of not lose your shirt on if you've missed the market, so to speak.
Right, and I think maybe it could have been intentional to choose titles that are not going to sell out immediately and people are going to start getting turned off, like it happened with Kraft, right? With the one, what's it called? Small batch?
Small batch, yes.
I think the small batch originally was what, 3,500 or 2,500?
It was like 3,000 median. Yeah, it was very, very small. That's
and
right.
it sold out and it pissed everybody off. Maybe that could be the tactic behind it, that they may increase the run to see if they sell out of these first 5,000.
Okay, that's a way to think.
Because I think they were a little underwhelming in terms of choices. That's just my personal opinion. I would have preferred something that I'm not going to buy these two, because I think of the Coltrane, aren't there like already really good reissues out of that Coltrane album?
I believe so.
Jason, do you know, did Speaker's Corner do it?
Rhino did it as a twofer with Bernie Grundman. I don't have that one.
What? We've stumped him, folks. He does
no, because he has the original.
Yeah. Oh no.
He has the acetate.
Oh, here he comes. Coming in clutch, Jason Rojas.
Mine's even more melted.
Oh my gosh, what happened? Was that in Chernobyl? What happened to it?
Yeah, really.
You know what? But it kind of blends in with the cover.
I know. It actually does. Really.
That's a beautiful cover though, without the
No,
water.
wait, that on the right side, is that a water stain?
Yeah, I believe so.
Wow,
Yeah,
I think that's embryonic
really
fluid.
nicely.
Someone birth a child on this album cover. What is going on?
I want to hang that in my classroom. I got to get that.
But I mean, I think this is one of the not well known, So that was like a very interesting choice. But they've already done a 2 LP with Bernie Grundman, and I don't have it. I just have this one. This was always fine.
What was the Bernie Grundman analog too?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because that would be interesting. Is like, why are they redoing it again? If they did it,
I'm telling you, like they're just copying VMP. There's nothing wrong with that. They're just again putting something out in the market and seeing how it does.
Well, you raise an interesting point because that was one thing I didn't catch at first. Is those goofy obi strips. That is another of these gimmicks that they've adopted from the Japanese market, because that used to be obi means belt, right? I mean, in case people don't know, but it was supposed to create demonstrated value. If an obi is higher quality, it was very similar to what MoFi did with, or they attempted to do with the silver label, and they had the color coding of original master recording. All that said, like you're saying, Jason, Vinyl Me Please started throwing these obies on there as some kind of value add, and you guys have got Vinyl Me Please, I'm sure. It's not that, I mean, it's very...
It gets in the way, really.
It gets in the way, and it's not... Yeah. It's just goofy, right? I'm just going to be honest, right? So the perceived value and the real value kind of aren't aligned with that. But then these rhinos, same thing. There's that paper obi, like this is a perceived value. When I got a question, if they realize that, here you go. Sublime reissue from Vinyl Me Please. Yep.
Right. So you got this obi, you got this. Let me see if I can get this. Okay. Cut by Ryan K. Smith, pressed on Burning Sun Galaxy vinyl, like listening notes, right? And then you get all this fancy booklet, you get the picture, look at the OBI, like, Rhino, are you listening? Are you on the peanut gallery right now? Like,
oh, there's definitely spies. Don't worry. They're tuning in. Surface Noise is the favorite live stream of marketers in the vinyl community. I'm telling you.
Oh, absolutely.
I must be honest, I'm not a Vinyl Me Please person. I like to hunt. I like to find the stuff in the crates and like, ooh, it looks so wonderful. I love that feeling.
Well, don't get us wrong. I mean, we're all crate diggers, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But but the other thing they're giving you is a booklet, which
then take my money.
So would you all recommend Vinyl Me Please? I mean, I've never done it before.
Well, let's go around the dais. Jason, what would you say? Kick it off.
For some of the titles, yes. For some of them, no. Like, I don't like, Arnaldo and I were talking about this. The last month's was like 4 choices, right? And one of them was Stevie Ray Vaughan, Texas Flood. And I'm not really I don't like Stevie Ray Vaughan. That ain't my thing, but I forgot to swap it and like get the credit back. And then they sent me the record. So now I'm like, well, I guess I have to give this a chance. I didn't,
Yeah.
You're going to give it a chance?
No.
Thank you, Jason. Finally, about time from BCLP coming my way.
But I mean, the value, because they give you the booklet, right, about the music. And
actually, Jason, I don't know if you saw my video, but the quality control on the Stevie Ray Vaughan is excellent. Okay. Like, dead, flat, silent, no issues whatsoever.
Better than
unlike the Sublime, where I had an issue.
Yeah, this one has issues. Like, I can't.
Tavis, here's one thing I would say is, and to piggyback on it, quality control, industry wide. I think everyone's probably done a video on this. Is that these new records, the QC is probably not as good as it could be. That's me being very polite about it. And Vinyl Me Please is no different in the sense that it's obviously they put forth titles that you can pick from, and they give you some flexibility. If you don't like the 4 titles for that month, you can swap it out. You can keep account, the credit in your account. So they've gotten better about that. I will say this, and this is my 2 cents, and I think hopefully other guys echo this. Their mailers that they ship in is worse in class.
I'm holding my breath every time I open the mailer.
No, it literally that is a common side effect, because they for all the money they're putting into the tip-on jacket and the embossing and the die tip, they're putting some value into the actual packaging of the product. but then they're saving the money on these terrible low flume count cardboard mailers that and that's before. And Tavish, you had a stint, you had an audition in the postal service, so you've seen this firsthand.
Oh yeah. We just throw. Not we. I saw some.
You saw some crimes against vinyl humanity. Yes.
You are throwing vinyl. They said, "Is this vinyl?"
Some scabs. They were scabs.
Non-union
Just
had
to be clear.
It's amazing.
But I mean, again, I don't know, Arnaldo, you've obviously subscribed, and I think you've come in and out of the club like a couple.
Yeah, because of that, I got frustrated. The first round, that was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, when I first subscribed, and I was in it for about 2 years. It was a combination of titles I was no longer interested. I wasn't interested in. I found myself swapping quite a bit. Then every time I was getting either seam splits, bent corners, and then noisy vinyl. And I just got tired of emailing them like either every other month because, too much, I mean, it doesn't cost to package. I mean, yes, it does invest in better mailers, but you're careless in the way you're shipping it. And if you're charging a premium for your product, then, it's like.
Tavis likes this saying. I came up with this one, trademark. I'm working on it. Premium price, premium product, premium expectation. I don't think that's a lot to ask for. You know what I mean? Especially because Vinyl Me Please, since I've been a member for several years in and out, used to be essentially $25 a month. They took the price point up to $30, depending on, the level of membership. Now it's about a median, about $40-ish. Some of these 2 LP titles are pushing $50, $60, like insanity. But they keep using these mailers, and I know Christopher, you are a unicorn, my friend. He said, I have never had a bad shipment from Vinyl Me Please. Where do you live? Can I have all my records sent to you? And then I will feel a lot better about third partying this out, my friend.
Because if that is the case, that they're not shipping them in a premium way, they would at least receive feedback from the customers.
And they do.
And here's the thing. When the first time I was a member, I would say a good number of times they were replacing the entire album, yes, even if the jacket was defective.
Keep it, we'll send you a new one. Exactly.
Yes. Wow. Then they started giving the $5 credit whenever I got a damaged cover. And that started to annoy me. And because then they said, we don't honor cosmetic damage. We only honor audio defects. Okay. We can give you a $5 credit. We're so sorry, blah, blah, blah. And after
then they started, and not to cut you off, but then they started, you had to start filming the record.
Oh, yeah. Then you had to start sending proof.
Trick that.
You had to start sending proof that yes, it's just a minimal effort. You just film the sound or you pick up the audio and you just send a little clip. Oh, we're so sorry. We'll send you a new one. And no questions asked. I believe, doesn't Acoustic Sounds also require proof?
Yes, they did on the UHQRs. I made a video where I was literally Conan the Barbarian trying to destroy the record. It's like proof of life, proof of death. I had to prove that I murdered this record before they would send me another one. But, again, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But I have to say that this second time around, now it's been a year since I rejoined. I've only had maybe, I want to say 2 issues, the Sublime, and I had a slight issue with Sigur Rós. But for the most part, I've been, I guess, very lucky not to get damaged covers. And the Sublime, I think, was a defect in the stamper, right, Jason? Because yours was skipping in the same exact spot that mine was. So that has to be something happened to the
plating or the manufacturer.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, this one kind of redeemed it.
So Tavis, hearing all this, because we're about to close the podcast portion of the presentation, would you consider Vinyl Me Please? Have we ruined it for you?
No one has told me the proper price.
Oh, well, let's just say, because you can do a 1 month at I think it's $40. You can do a 3 month where it comes to about $38 a month. You can do a 6 month, which is, I'm going to make the number because I don't have it in front of me, $35 a month. Now, they enticed me to do a full year because they had this promotion. You sign up for a full year, we'll give you 12 free records on top of
8 chance. Stop misleading it. They'll give you 8.
Oh, I'm sorry, 8.
Because I was about to jump on that.
Did you get a free membership? The way you're talking this up, man.
No, I haven't even got my 8 free records. I was waiting because there was going to be a feeding frenzy at the beginning. So I'm playing the long game. Jason has rubbed off on me. I'm playing the long game. So everyone will have used their 8 free records, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, I haven't used mine yet because I emailed them. I was like, I can't add up 8 free records. Can I order and then get the others? Like, no, you have to use them up all at once. And I'm like, okay, so I'm just going to wait until December when it runs out, and then I'll order them.
Exactly. Well, guys, let's go ahead and wrap this part up for the podcast, and then we'll keep freestyling here. I see some juicy, tasty comments I really want to attack. Comment on the freestyle portion of this. Anyway, so this is Concert Buddy wrapping up Surface Noise again. Thank you to my guests, David Bianco, Safe and Sound Texas Audio Excursion. Jason Rojas, the most wanted man in the vinyl community. Look out for those reward posters in a record store near you. Ronaldo over at Fidelios _frequency.
Thanks for having me, Chance.
And special guest, my good friend Tavis from Kansas City. Tavis, Vinyl Talk with Tavis. If you don't know, now you know. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, man.
All right, guys. And see. All right, now let's freestyle.
How fun that was. Wow.
Now, hang on. Now, Patrick, I'm coming at you. I should have never mentioned my troll called me Count Crisco the other day because now I'm never going to.
Concert Crisco.
Concert Crisco. Yes. Ed T from Pittsburgh. I know he's not watching because he's.
I should have seen report the screen. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. So
that's some great lubrication at Crisco.
Patrick has to repair my hardwood floor because it's solution.
Patrick, you got a lot of heat on you lately. I'm not sure you want
all over by the plastic container.
Are you sure you want to come from the knockout king from St. Louis, Missouri? You got Arnaldo upset. New York is really mad at you right now. You got Arnaldo and the chemical problem. You got Peter Parker. I mean, come on, my man. Let's go.
Concert Crisco. I tell you, that's a beautiful name. I love it.
Well, no, so Tavis, real quick. So, we've talked about this offline. These trolls that think they're really clever, don't like us because, they hate us because they ain't us kind of thing.
What?
I have a fella from Pittsburgh who I've hunted him down. I know who he is.
Circin Jazz?
Circin Jazz.
He's calling me. On my feed, he called you Concert Bidet.
Ooh.
Wow. Well, I'm not going to give that guy too much air because he's a failed musician and he's a failed human being in life. But he came on one of my the Scott Wilson conversation, and he had been working for months. He was like Rocky Balboa, training in the troll gym to come up with a new comeback to try to insult me. And so he called me Concert Crisco because he assumes and he projects that I have an obesity issue, which is it's almost as humorous as his YouTube channel, Batmanion. Oh, look it up because that's who that guy is. Sorry, I'm dropping all the dimes.
I think I've had just one issue. I think someone, and I think YouTube, they've really cracked down on these comments on the videos that we have. Someone called me Vinyl Cock with Tavis. I said, please call me by my proper name. I left it up for a while to let him know how I felt. And then I deleted it about a month later. I was like, okay, lovely.
I mean, listen, I could do a whole nother show. Robert Fithen, we did a talk about trolls, and I came out of that, Robert really kind of set me straight. Don't feed the trolls.
Yeah.
You're looking for a connection, even if it's the wrong kind. And I really felt I was good with that. But this guy has got about 40 different accounts. And like Arnaldo said, Arnaldo got some collateral damage because we had just done our talk for the podcast. And then he started cracking on you. And it's just like, yo, bring it all to me, guy, because, your issue is with me. It's not with Arnaldo. It's not with Jay. It's not with anybody else.
I think I silenced him because I told him, because then he was replying to my reply. And I told him, keep on replying. You're just increasing the algorithm for my video. It's like the more you comment, the better.
You said it, yeah.
Well, hey, so Wyoming Dave, that's true. That asshole, the Sixth Beatle, trolled Chance on one of his videos. Well, guess what? Spoiler alert: the Sixth Beatle is the same guy. I mean, I'm breaking. I'm not going to dox the guy, but it's the same guy. The guy has 40 different accounts. He comes after all kinds of people. I've talked to people who are not on this dais, off stream. We all know who this guy is, and he's one of several lightweights who feel more empowered to just try to bring people down. They hate us because they ain't us. And listen, if they want to think about me late in the middle of the night when they're in their mom's basement and they're watching me on screen and they're touching themselves where they shouldn't touch themselves, hey, it's a free country. But until
Daddy always told me, if they're not talking about you, you're not doing something right.
Well, that's Tavis. That's a very mature answer. But there's sometimes I got to be honest. I gotta go. I got to go to that level because these guys. Oh,
put up Patrick's comment.
Hang on, yeah. Hang on. Let me find it. Oh,
he's asking me, is it BPA approved? Where am I supposed to see if it's BPA approved?
So Tavis, Patrick has a chemical composition you share with Arnaldo about how to clean your records and the solution to make. It's like, bathtub chemistry kind of situation. Oh. And I think it was last stream, Arnaldo. I feel it was like one of our recent connections.
Well, Patrick, unfortunately, I threw out the container that I got eaten through, but it was just I just reused the I guess this is recycled plastic that they use for these gallon of distilled water here. It may be thinner than the one that you showed on Rachel's stream the other day, because I made the same conclusion that if originally the fluids are stored in a plastic container, then I could store them in this. Maybe the interaction between the two, or maybe because this is a thinner plastic, it started eating through the bottom and it was leaking from the bottom.
And did it damage your wood floors in your place, Arnaldo?
Well, yeah, it made a stain. Yeah, it made a small stain, and now I have to repair it somehow.
So invoice goes to Sacramento, California. To be very clear, the Sacktown Ripper, you can address it to him.
I clean my records with this. It works pretty good. Trolls come after me. Put that Windex on it. It shines like brand new.
Tavis, you're gonna laugh, but remember when you came in and I took you to that record store, Record Exchange, the nice guy had all those records. My man uses Clorox bleach.
Wait a minute, what?
He takes the powdered Clorox and he makes a solution. I've seen him do it. And he cleans the record, and it gives it luster, and it makes it look good. But
I'll bet scratches it.
He uses this.
Well, no, he uses the powder like Ajax, like
Ajax
bleach,
like Comet.
Yes, exactly, David. Yeah.
Oh my heavens.
Yeah, I mean that's like putting grit inside your grooves.
Well, good luck on his needle.
In Europe they sell that for vinyl. It's called Vindex. VIN Vindex. There you go.
There it is. So guys, what are we spinning? What's some of the news? I know Tavis, you just showed. I think that was VCLT somebody sent you, right, Tavis?
Yeah, man. Let me tell you what I'm spinning. Can I share something?
Absolutely. That's what we're here for.
I'll tell you what. I'm so excited. And I think if you watch my channel, I kind of give you a little education. Who's this wonderful guy, Arnaldo? You seem to be really into the mix of things. I'm not really sure. I don't know you too well. What was the first orchestral score on vinyl?
Oh.
Can someone name it? A movie called
Ben-Hur. The Jungle Book.
I wonder if it was Disney.
Or The Thief of Baghdad. One of those. But Miklos Rosa.
Wow.
His was the first orchestral score.
What year was that?
This is 1942.
And it's a 33?
What's that?
It's a 33 RPM?
Well, actually, good question. It was a 78.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
And
the first, the very first one on vinyl, the soundtrack was what? What was the first soundtrack on vinyl?
Tavis, school's out tomorrow, man.
What's that?
School's out tomorrow.
Tone it down. Come on.
The teacher in me. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just learned something tonight.
For the guys who don't know or don't watch these regularly, this is Tavis's channel. Tavis is one of the reasons, honestly, I got to making videos, because he was one of those channels I watched from behind the scenes, lurking, in the galley. And he's a delight, man. I just love his channel, and I've been fortunate. We met up twice so far. It's always a good time, good hang, good guy. So
the whole of these gentlemen, I need to find your channels too, gentlemen. What are your channels' names? Safe and Sound Texas Audio.
Yeah, mine's the longest name.
David's is the word salad. If you're
like,
looking...
Safe and Sound Texas Audio Exercise.
Yeah.
Okay. No, just teasing.
Hey, and that's after I rebranded.
We got Jason Roja.
Jason's the boldest one. He just uses his name. He's like, come hunt me, come find me. I'm right here.
And you'll find him in a poster in every post office.
I'm telling you, wanted, VC's most wanted. He's ready. He's ready.
Why they give you a hard time, Jason? You're so quiet. They always have the quiet ones.
No comment. No comment. Maybe poster. Maybe we.
He's the Rodney Dangerfield of the VC. No respect.
Now, hang on a second, Matt. We can't have this kind of language on the. I know this is the freestyle, but David is tossing that salad. I don't know what you mean by that. This is not the Olive Garden. This is not the unlimited breadsticks.
Do we need to put up rules? Should we start the rules?
We can't talk about certain people, and we can't.
It sounded like our dear friend. What's our dear friend's name?
You can't say it. Oh, in the morning, our morning show.
Yes, the morning show.
Oh,
Captain Kangaroo Rachel.
Oh my God. Sometimes I always literally get on those shows. I'm like,
well,
Tavis is here. I said, let me leave. Oh, good night.
Well, Tavis, ironically, that's what Arnaldo's kind of hinting at is that there's Rachel. I don't know if she does it every morning. That's a lot. Like it's hard for me to do my weekly stuff, right? But every morning, testament to the stamina there. But there's been some guardrails put in on the morning program, and I'm still not clear because I think I have to go back and watch that video to write them down to understand because some are a little flexible and some are pretty rigid, and I can appreciate that. I also want to posture for a rule against some of these people who keep coming in and being troublemakers like Fred Dobbs. I'm just going to say it, like certain nefarious people. But anyway, that's for a conversation. But Tavis, you're exactly right. It's definitely, remember the morning show, the morning zoo. They always had like those drive time shows where it was like chaos. I mean, that's how
I'm waiting for the day, guys, when one day Sue loses it and says, "Would you get off that freaking computer and help me do some work?" It's got to happen. She can't be human. My God.
Yeah.
Yes, this is true. Matt's exactly right. Rachel is truly a freestyle, the originator of the freestyle approach to live streams. But she's great, and she's always been very kind to me. Me
too.
Nothing negative to say about her directly or the live stream, but
she loved the drama. She loved the drama.
Well, and I think I think it's kind of a slippery slope, and this is all I'll say about it is you want to give people enough rope to hang themselves figuratively and literally, and sometimes the rope is a little bit longer in certain situations, and with people who maybe haven't earned the social proof that you would think. There's been some people coming into the streams who don't even collect records.
Well, she used to kind of have there
used to be a criteria,
right? And that's gone. That's just totally gone.
But
that guy from Indiana was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's funny. When I first started watching the show and I got interested, I emailed her. I was like, because I would always see the same people on the panel, and I just like timidly asked her. I was like, "Is there a criteria that you select people? Like,
victims?
Do they have to have a channel? What's the criteria to come on?"
Are they a former child actor? That kind of thing?
No, she's like, well, no, I've as long as I've seen you in the gallery and I see that you're legit, you can come on whenever you want. So, she's always been very welcoming.
100%.
Yeah, maybe sometimes to a fault,
exactly.
But she's always been very good, at least to me. And, I've gotten a couple of comments, my fair share of abuse by certain people, but I try to put them in their place. Only when I'm on the panel, because fighting a battle from the gallery with someone on the panel is already a lost cause, because you'll never have the upper hand. So I learned that the hard way.
And especially like when you make videos, I remember maybe 2 or 3 years ago when I was just learning how to put together a vinyl turntable. I mean, I videotape myself putting it together, and I didn't do a certain process. And this guy just kept talking and kept putting these comments. You didn't do this right. And what makes you think that you are the? I said, I'm not the general of all this. I'm just showing people who may need to have a little help. And if I did something wrong, be kind. I mean, come on. He went through all my videos talking about it. He's no good, blah, blah. I had to, you have to learn to pick your battles.
I have a feeling that was Ed T from Pittsburgh, because it sounds like the troll template that you just can't win. That, again, I have to remind myself and remind these people that this is free. Last time I checked, we're not charging people to watch our content. And then also, like you said, we're going to get things wrong sometimes. It's human nature. Yeah. And especially, it doesn't matter the amount of preparation. It doesn't matter, you can have notes. You can have it all. It's just human nature that things are going to get lost in the wash and lost in the sauce. And, I don't know. It's also human nature that people are going to try to find reasons to attack you and poke you, right?
Yeah.
And what I learned was that when I called Audio-Technica, because I got really mad, I called Audio-Technica. I said, did I miss a process? When this comes new, do I have to do this particular process? They said, no, it's already done for you. I'm like, oh, so he was wrong. They said, yes. So every time I get a new turntable from Audio-Technica, I don't do that process.
Tavis, we have a question from the gallery. Was it Michael Fremer who was relentless in attacking you?
You know what? I forgot the name. That's what you do. You forget them.
That's
you
right.
got attacked by Fremer?
No. I want to be very clear. That was Christopher, I think, was making a joke, but yes, I mean, too funny. Oh, hey, Art's here. Art, how's it going, Art? Great guy. All right, so Tavis, you were showing us some of the stuff you're spinning. What else? What do you guys? What other records are you on our turntable?
Oh, let's see. Oh, got to have a little Madonna.
Madonna, there you go.
Got to have a little Sade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a different one.
I just love a variety of music. I got Phil Collins. Oh, his first album when he left Genesis. Oh, that album is so beautiful.
I think that's Norman Maslow's favorite artist of all time. Am I wrong on that? I mean,
you're way wrong on that.
What's his favorite artist?
Actually, that's the only one that I have. I only have Face Value.
Do you have the original, or when they came back and he did the age?
No, I have the original.
Again, talk about another reissue gimmick. When he redid his whole catalog with the aged photos, which I bought, guilty as charged, but
he should not have done that.
Oh, that was a straight, and
I miss him. Well, I hope he's okay health wise.
David, what's going on in your turntable? Oh, and by the way, Tavis, yeah, here he is.
That's when I was young and beautiful.
Oh, hang on, I gotta make myself big. So Tavis is a musician as well.
Oh.
Hang
on. I was 40 and fine.
Chance, that didn't sound good.
Now I'm 50 and fabulous.
What you just said, that did not sound good.
What?
I said I got to make myself big, and then which is what Arnaldo has requested we say. But apparently, I am not good. I can remove myself from the stream. Here we go. There it is. Recording artist Tavis. Tavis was kind enough to send this to me. Look at this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tavis, do you sing or play or both?
I do both. I produce, record, do all my instruments. I'm like Prince.
So Tavis,
except you're alive.
Yeah. Oh, no, wait. I don't know if I should laugh or not.
I know.
Okay.
It is a key distinction. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're so right.
Tavis, I see a reissue, an OBI strip, tip-on jacket, cut by Kevin Gray.
Has Kevin Gray been in contact with this?
Depends on the price.
$39.
It needs to be mastered to vinyl, not to CD.
Yeah.
Now, was that originally recorded digital or was it to tape?
You know what? Listen, I use GarageBand. And
that would be digital.
Yeah.
Cut from the garage tape, right?
Yeah. And I use original instruments. I use pianos and have mics, and then I use some digital keyboards, and I had a real drummer, and then I had some digital drums. I just mixed it all together. So proud of that project.
Now, Music Talk with John, I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble with the Phil Collins estate because I believe In the Air Tonight is about breaking wind. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty sure you're wrong.
Oh, my Lord.
Pretty sure that we don't want to get the Phil Collins folks mad at us because I hear they're a feverish bunch.
Mm-hmm.
What's that song here I love? Hand in Hand? Oh, my God, that's a beautiful song.
Cutting the Cheese with Me.
Wait, is that on here?
No.
Wait, hold on. I don't know.
There's a lot of flatulence in the air tonight. Oh, did you see what I just did?
Oh, right,
Okay.
yeah.
Got him. All right, Jason.
Yeah.
What's
You asked me and I didn't answer you yet.
Oh, David, I'm sorry, David.
No, it's okay.
No, let's go to you. We wanted to air out because you let the flatulence kind of clog us. So what's spinning or what's some new pickups you got?
I'm working on a shootout between an OG UK of Fragile Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
With their Kevin Gray.
Okay.
And then a Rhino.
Chris Bellman.
Yes, Chris Bellman and the One Step.
Wow.
So have you listened? Because I have the Kevin Gray on order. I hope it's good.
I shall not say.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
Keep that receipt.
Let's go back to Chad.
No, it's
I got this return from a guy named Arnada from New York.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, y'all crazy.
Hey, speaking of uncompensated plug, there is 20% off the Vinyl Vault this weekend. So
that's
just
right.
That on. So
20% off 1,000.
There goes my teacher's check.
So if you want
20% off WTF.
Yeah. So if you want that Pretty in Pink soundtrack, that's $80 on site right now. I think you can save a few dollars. Unpaid endorsement. I want to be very clear.
Okay.
Already got mine for 28.
Jason, what's going on? What's going on in your turntable? Surely you've got some heat coming.
So this is
Yes, he
probably
does, and don't call him
one of the
Shirley.
most hottest things. This is the ERC Vashti Bunyan. If you don't know Vashti Bunyan, she was a 60s singer in the UK, like folk singer. And this was like her last record. Now, this is the ERC. I've never owned an ERC before. I didn't get the.
Oh.
What was wrong with her foot?
Are these the $300 records?
Yes. And then this is the reissue. Now, the original that came out on UK Philips, that's a $2,000-$3,000 record. Okay. So
Are you serious, Jason?
I am serious. Now, what kind of music is this? It's like, I would say like it's a female version of Nick Drake in a way. But this is more like has, I would say, the better vocals, a little bit more nursery rhyme kind of melodies. It's a fantastic record, you know? Now, which one is better? I don't have the original. I'm not going to pay $2,000-$3,000, right? So they say this one that came out in 2000, this reissue, is a all analog AAA. And of course, this one, ERC. Now, I have to say, this one's a bit more muddled, like this thing. Someone said this sounds closer to the original, and I find that interesting, you know, because it's very loud, muffled. Now, the ERC, because we always heard about the Doors, right? Now, this thing probably has the best detail I've ever heard on a record.
Wow.
Okay. Now, is it worth $500? I can't answer that. Like, it depends on if you like the record or not.
If you really, really, really like that album.
Right. So I really like this record, and I'm not going to pay $2,000-$3,000 for the original. Like this came up. It just has so much detail that I can hear the tape defect on side 2.
Wow, that's pretty succinct, man.
Right. So there is one song, and then they actually try to hide it in the reissue. But after my friend called me and reviewed the talk, we reviewed it. I listened to it 3 or 4 times on the song on side 2. And you can hear on here, there's a big crackle in the tape. You can hear this whoosh on the tape, and it's very noticeable on the detailed ERC.
Is the cover the same on the other side, or are they two different?
Oh,
okay.
So this is actually more textured cover. They don't really, I guess, They actually got Vashti Bunyan's original, and I guess she left it out, so it's a bit faded.
Okay.
But they tell me that the original is actually just like this, more detailed in the color, versus it's kind of faded here. But I mean, I like the record. I'm not complaining about it. Like, I'm not even like saying that I like love ERC. I mean, I think this is like the first and last ERC that I would purchase. Like, I wouldn't touch it anymore.
Okay.
I haven't been keeping up in my vinyl community videos like I should have. Has Mike Esposito come out with another ERC?
No, he doesn't know that record. So,
but given what they did do with that and how precise you said it is,
yes.
If they released something you really liked, why wouldn't you go for it? I'm kind of curious.
Well, I mean, I went for this one.
Well, but was that an album that you really wanted to have? I guess.
Yes. As soon as I heard that it was coming out, I definitely did the pre-order and all this. Well, not the pre-order, but waited in the queue.
Yeah, got you.
For it.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful record. If you don't know this record, it's fantastic. It is very beautiful, lush orchestra, like not overabundant, but a folk record with some lush orchestration, acoustic guitars, no electric.
But
beautiful.
no relation to Paul Bunyan, right?
No, of course not.
Just checking.
Is it on Spotify? Is it on Spotify?
Yeah, it's on Spotify, iTunes.
Okay.
So I'll actually get it for you in the chat and put it in the private.
Okay.
You can take a listen.
Okay.
It's a beautiful record. There's nothing like this. And again, like I say, like I'm not gonna pay $2,000-$3,000 for an original.
No way. Yeah. Well,
So
I get
that. I mean, that means like 300 of these is now like now that it's going up in price. And I don't know how I feel about. I mean, that's why I brought up the topic of the reissue. Like, this is the ultimate, right? Like, now you have some person like Mike Esposito who doesn't like his, I don't know what he's listening for. What is he looking for?
Right.
Is he looking for more detail? Did he just hate the cover because it wasn't like the original, or what was his goal? I don't know.
What a great question is, what's the highest price you've paid for a record?
$700. $700 right there.
Hang on, Dave. Let's get your money's worth on this one, David.
Oh,
Sergeant Pepper, the original UHQR, right?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
That's a lot of lawns to mow, David. I mean, that's you must really like that band. Is that the Boodles? What's that band? Are they a new band?
Oh my gosh.
How many vinyls are in there?
One.
Oh, wow.
It's just Sergeant Pepper's 33 RPM.
One vinyl and one box.
Yeah. But it isn't bigger, so it fits on the shelf. Doesn't stick out like some from Kansas.
Harry. I mean, did this have
one
of our Lord and Savior? Like, look, Harry, you got to tell us what that record is. I mean, listen, this isn't a competition, but I'm very curious.
I know what it is. It's the Butcher, isn't it?
It's Patrick's Butcher that he bought? Oh, spilling the tea. Oh, no.
Wow. I'll tell you what, I think I'd pay a lot.
Well, it sounds like Patrick can afford to get that floor fixed.
I would get that. I would get this if it was reissued. I don't know if it has.
Oh, Tavis.
Oh, it's coming out later this year.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Did you pre-order it?
Me? I have not. I just got this weekend at
Well, is it an AB?
Kind of wonder.
Did you check the AB? The Matrix. Is it an AB?
I don't know what that means. Talk to me.
So if you
look at the spine,
look at the dead wax.
Look at the spine first of all.
Oh, it's an AB.
Okay, most likely inside you'll have an AB in the Matrix. You have the right copy.
Oh, right. You taught me something.
Look at the dead wax, and if you have an AB, you should be good.
It says AB. Oh my God.
In the dead wax?
Yes, I see it right there.
So that's the one to have, right?
And it only costs $15.
There you go.
Not $2,800.
Add another zero, and you
somebody didn't know what they had.
You could also get a box to go along with it. Add another zero.
From Selena, is that where you're hinting at there?
Yes.
Well, Tavis, that's a score for sure.
thank you for teaching me, man. Man, y'all see.
Yes, and Chris Hillpiper also said you can also get the AA with the B scratched out.
Okay, what is AA? What is A and A? What is
Okay,
that?
what happened was the original
Stamper.
press had an AB matrix.
Okay.
AB was also the code for the pricing, I believe, that ABC was using at the time.
ABC. See,
Yes.
AB was already there too.
Then I believe they dropped it in like it was no longer frontline, and they started repressing it, but they used some of the old stampers by just scratching out the B, which now was no longer an applicable price code, and just put an A in front of it. So if you find the ones that have AA with the B scratched out, that's also a very good pressing if you want.
That is amazing. Okay.
And I don't say this, it's the powers that be that have determined that the AB is the best pressing, because that's all I have. I just happen to be lucky to have the AB pressing.
Because I see AB 1006.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
It's in great condition.
Is it at the beginning or at the end? Is it after is the AB for after
the AB
the number
before.
or before?
The AB is before the number.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, have you listened to it yet? Do you like that music?
I have. Okay. I've owned this record before, and I don't. I had the AB.
Okay.
But in my previous videos, you all, I had to make a significant move, and I didn't realize what I had. And I sold records like a mug, was making thousands of dollars. And now I'm reclaiming and getting these records back, and it's been fun. The journey's been fun. It's like I'm starting all over again, and I love it.
Well, I have a good feeling that that was an upgrade. Again, without knowing what you had before. I mean, these are the things that make it fun, right? Like you had said that earlier, Tavis, about, the fun of finding these things in the wild. It still exists. And I like to ask people this from time to time, because do you still have those oh shit moments, pardon my French, right? Because they're few and far between. They still exist, but that's what keeps me going to the stores that have less and less used, or the stores that aren't curated as well as they used to, is because when you find it, it's still that good feeling, right?
Right.
All right, Arnaldo, you're up. Next up in the lineup, what do you got going on the turntable?
I could show you some records I picked up over the weekend.
Let's do it.
This was actually sealed when I bought it.
George Michael.
Yep.
Oh, Matt's in the gallery. Matt just did a video talking about this album and the Freedom 90 song. He was very touched by it.
Who is that?
Prime Analog Records. That's Matt Dunn.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
You should.
And I don't know why the reissue that came out a few years ago, they zoomed in on the picture, because it's only like here you see the people a little smaller up top. The reissue, they kind of I don't want to say they cropped it, they just zoomed in on it. Not really sure what the choice of that was.
And so is this the reissue, Arnaldo? Maybe
no, this is the OG.
OG, nice.
US OG, and it was sealed.
Attaboy.
All right.
Yes, and it did not come out warped, luckily. Actually, that was a selling point. I was able to bargain it down from like $80.
Where was this at?
At a record show that I went.
Got it.
Okay.
And she gave it to me for $40. She also kind of liked me, I guess, because the guy that she was with at the booth at the table, I had bought from him at the previous fair. So they were there both together, and he was kind of like helping her out because she was just selling off stuff that she had. And he was kind of agreeing to the fact that, yeah, when a record's sealed, especially for 30 years, you may have a chance that it's going to be warped inside once you open it.
Wow.
So yeah, I wasn't, she was very nice about it. It's like, yeah, okay, I can let it go for 40. That's great.
And she also knows that you're at Fidelios_frequency. So she didn't want to risk running ire of a YouTuber, right?
No, yeah. That's someone else, right, Jason, in the city that we won't name because I'm not into doing attack videos.
All right, Arnaldo, what else you got, bud?
Then I got the Tears for Fears.
Tears for Fears. I just saw that today at one of the shops I went to.
Yeah, this is also a UK pressing. In the US, they had a different cover.
Yep. Yeah,
Then I
got
picked
the
up
UK of that.
2 Cocteau Twins albums.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
The first 2, actually. These were missing. Now I'm only missing one from the UK label 4AD. Then,
Bluebell?
what's that?
Is it Bluebell, that one?
Yeah, I'm missing Bluebell. No. And this was a nice surprise. I got a UK first pressing of Made in Japan on the purple label. And this is a guilty pleasure, which I shouldn't really say it's a guilty pleasure because it's a great album.
There are no guilty pleasures, only guilty feelings.
No,
That's a good
great
album.
record.
I'm not familiar with that.
I got that one.
Oh, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Come on, Travis, you know
Relax, don't do
Oh
it.
my heavens! Of course, I can't see. I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, that'll do it every time.
Damn! Now I see.
I believe it's called
Do you drive like
Welcome
that?
Home,
That's
right?
what I want to know. Are you
Sometime.
driving?
And then one last thing. When Jason was in New York, he happened to pick up a copy of this record. And he kind of like reminded me of how good it was because when we came to my place and we were listening to it, I was like, man, I forgot how good. I had this on CD. Then I came across it at Rough Trade like a week later, and they were asking way too much money for the condition. And then, lo and behold, you guys ever buy from Permanent Records?
LA, yeah.
Yeah.
The Brown Acid place. Yep.
I found a really good copy of it, of The Gang of Four.
Cool. That's cool.
So that's sooner or later, you will find the record.
Yeah.
yeah.
That sounds
Good old
like
diapers.
some Ten
Just be
Commandments
patient.
level stuff.
Just be patient, unless it's Vashti Bunyan and you come across in the wild at some like garage sale, someone who has no clue what the original 1971 was, right? Then you grab it and you don't think twice, even if they're
You
asking.
grab it and then you come on the stream
Right.
and you hold it up in front of Jason.
Chance, can you share that link for everyone who
Happy
doesn't?
to, yeah.
who
Oh,
doesn't know
yes.
Vashti Bunyan.
I can do that.
I never will forget when I went to St. Louis and man, this Chance, such a great guy. He took me around all these places, and we went to the 45 section. Remember?
Oh, Record Exchange, yeah, upstairs. Yep.
And I found the Tears for Fears. What's that song?
Everybody wants to rule the world.
On 45.
Yeah.
I still have that. I mean, just to find those 45s, and I think it was like maybe $10.
They're usually $5 up there, yeah.
Yeah, because I couldn't find it here in Kansas City. I just love finding those little treasures.
Same shop that cleans them with the Ajax that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, okay. No, that sound good. Maybe I should use.
No.
I'm
I'm not endorsing his cleaning. He's a nice guy. His daughter's done really great work. Actually, she was there, I think, when you were there, right?
Right.
She's done. Actually, I'm going to plug them real quick because she's done a really great job of helping getting a lot of the clutter in the store. Because he had his operation. He at one point had 7 or 9 shops around town back 20, 30 years ago, and then obviously, things got tighter, vinyl goes out, CDs, et cetera. So then he consolidated everything into one location, and it's kind of like an urban legend that he's got a warehouse just full of inventory. And he must, because he's pulling out like Tracy Chapman's at least once a quarter. Like he's just like, oh yeah, here's one of the hype sticker. Like, where was this?
Speaking of Tracy Chapman, Jason, remember when I picked up the Tracy Chapman? My favorite record store in Long Island, where I usually shop, finally today posted a picture that he got a copy. So,
Looney Tunes, is that the one or the
no,
other?
High Fidelity.
High Fidelity.
So I was like, see, it's eventually you'll find it.
Yeah, you're so right. Yeah, you're right.
I do want to. I saw a comment here. Let me find it. So Patrick, even though you called me Concert Crisco earlier, I do want to wish you good vinyl luck because it's very exciting because these opportunities rarely present themselves when you can find them advertised. And I'll save my story for another time, but when you know it's going to be out there, it's going to be competitive because there's fewer and far between of these advertised yard sales, garage sales, whatever that has records.
Sales.
And hopefully there was pictures, because the worst is to show up and it's a bunch of this junk. You know what I mean? That's kind of defeating.
Lawrence
So
Welk,
good
Andy
vinyl
Williams.
Patrick.
Andy.
All right. So
one thing I meant to mention, Chance.
Yeah, shoot.
I'm going to be doing a shootout with another gentleman on 2 Tear for Fears MoFis, Sowing the Seeds of Love and Songs from the Big Chair.
Nice.
I'm doing the latter one, and then he's doing Seeds of Love. So to compare to OG UKs and USs. And another guy, I think I told you earlier, sent me the Fleetwood Mac self-titled that was a 2x45 cut by Kevin Gray from 2012 RSD, comparing it to the MoFi and the Ken Dunn OG and that.
Well, we'll share that nugget you shared with me about the early return.
Oh, yeah. On that one. Yeah. I was telling Chance earlier that I was playing OG and the MoFi and the 2x45, and there was a song with Christine McVie's vocal in it. And I'd listened to the MoFi and I'd listened to the OG, and when I put on the 45 RPM on that song, her voice was so pristine that a tear came to my eye thinking about her passing, because it was just like, wow, that sounded so much more personal than the other ones did. I've never really had anything like that happen before. It was really kind of different.
I don't have the OG of the self-titled, but I do have the double 45. I got that at the time.
I think in the end, it's going to be the best of them. I think it's better than the MoFi.
See, this stream always costs me a lot of money, because I could be on a nice vinyl diet. I could be very conservative with my purchases. And then David, these guys are always good about it.
Have something to do.
Elevating something that I just found. It's like a nice.
I'm going to definitely. I think I'm not going to be spending money, but I'm going to be spending time listening to this young Jason talking about this. What's her name?
Bunyan.
Yes.
Bunyan.
I'm going to. Oh yeah, that sounds really delicious to the ears.
All right.
And then Ike and Tina Turner, The Edge.
The Edge.
Oh yes. Let's not forget. Okay, is that on Spotify? Because
I don't think so.
I'm going to listen to that tomorrow, actually.
It may be on YouTube, actually. I mean,
some of the songs are on YouTube.
It may be.
Let's look. Hold, please. Ike Turner.
Beep, 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 beep.
He was making money off of this. Oh, God.
No, they only have, looks like, one song. Here's a mix. Oh, no. Don't want to get shut down for the old copyright, folks.
Well, gentlemen, I must go and get this last day. It's been a pleasure. I need to go to sleep and get up early in the morning.
Sub up Travis. I subbed him up, guys.
Tavis. Sub up Tavis. Yes,
Sub up Tavis.
What's the name of your channel, Tavis? Again?
Hang on. Vinyl Talk with Tavis. I'm going to give you the link. I threw it out there earlier, but I'm telling you, this is one of the 5 or 6 channels that really inspired me to start doing Right, Wrong, or Indifferent, what I've been doing with my YouTube.
Well, now we know who to blame. Ooh, ouch.
He is something else.
Unbelievable. These are my friends, Tavis. Can you believe my enemies? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
What's that phrase? Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Yeah,
well,
right.
Now you know what I'm doing with David.
That's right.
Take care of you all.
Hey, Tavis.
Nice
I'll be talking to you with
Nice
school coming
you.
out. We'll connect, all right, this summer. Let's connect.
All righty.
All right, man. Be good. See ya.
Hey, bring him down to Austin in October. Well, he's in school, I guess, but
yeah, he'll probably be in school. Yeah, and Tavis, the one thing about him that I really enjoyed is that a lot of different channels. There's folks, and I think actually there's a small thread going around the community right now. Melinda Murphy just did a video. My friend Brandon, Mr. Hall of Fame, did one about the vinyl journey and what's changed or what you're changing. Like Melinda was touching on not really going to physical record stores as much as she used to.
Yeah.
Brandon was talking about even the flip side with JC did it. I don't think it's a vinyl tag or any of that kind of stuff, but the reason I'm bringing it up is before I started doing videos, it was interesting seeing people at different points in their collecting journeys. Yeah. And Tavis was still, and I think he won't mind me saying this, was still in the learning stage about a lot of things. And he was bringing that excitement and that energy to his videos, which I thought was refreshing, because where he was where I was a couple years before or whatever. And to see somebody that authentic and that pure and the joy showing the music. And he was also it's always interesting when you see people not showing the same stuff all the time. You know what I mean? Like he was showing soul records, and obviously he had a career, and so you could compare it to being a performer. And he's been on stage with Tavis, I wish you were still here. I mean, he's Patti LaBelle. I think he's been on stage with Patti LaBelle. I think. Oh. But anyway, so all right, what I've picked up, not to bury the lead. So, Record Store Day. Oh. This title comes out. Well, so this was the Australian. Originally, this was released. This is a live Australian recording that was only available, I think, on CD through Best Buy or something. I know Vance is in the gallery. He can correct me if I'm wrong on this. But this was there's a Record Store Day release that just came out of this. And as they did last year when Pearl Jam had a Record Store Day release, that was the Live on Two Legs release. Literally, after Record Store Day Saturday, Monday, 10 Club exclusive. And it's a true sickness because I had to get the 10 Club exclusive Live on Two Legs. And this is the 10 Club exclusive. This is like clear vinyl. I won't pull it out. But so they sent it to me. And I've ordered a couple of records from 10 Club. No issues. But this
What's 10 Club?
So 10 Club is the Pearl Jam official fan club. And not that I would suggest people doing it, but it's kind of good because particularly with concert tickets, and I had to learn the hard way, and I'll save that story, but you get early access to get tickets, which can be kind of hard because the Pearl Jam people are like really obsessive about traveling to see the band and that sort of thing. But they have, limited exclusive vinyl. They have, I think right now, their Atlanta show from like 94. It's like in a bound book kind of thing that they release a couple of vinyl off of that. But
they see you coming, dude.
Well, I don't pay for it, so I get it every year for my birthday. I actually just got it. My son and my wife, it's low hanging fruit. Something I probably wouldn't actually. I think they gave you a T-shirt. This is a T-shirt from last year, but so I've never had an issue with anything they've sent me until this one. It came with those GD seam splits. And so I had to write them, and I'm like, hey, I hate to be this guy, but this is not cool. And to their credit, they're like, yeah, no problem. But like we were talking about earlier, you have to send us a picture of it destroyed. So I literally had to destroy the gatefold and then take a picture. And I was like, okay, you guys I better not get an email coming out saying, oops, we don't have any more replacement jackets, because that would have been good. But to their credit, made it right, sent it. Even said replacement part on the line item.
They sent you just the jacket?
Just the jacket, yeah. Oh, here he is. Sacktown Ripper himself.
Oh, wow.
The ruiner of wood floors and Rip Dream.
I just called you Crisco, and you're just like, I don't deserve all that. But honestly, I've had this stuff in this little spray bottle for like 4 months, and it hasn't eaten the bottom of it. So I'm really confused.
Chris just said the same thing happened to him.
So I did like in my garage. I used to have like a container like you showed me, and I had just water in it because I had like a skewer from like a shish kebab thing, and I would put records that I cleaned on it. So it was solid. So, and after about 3 months in the garage, that thing actually ate through the plastic. It was just water.
Walter, what did I tell you? Now they're going to tell me when we were complaining about this, like they're going to be like, "Oh, you stored that in your apartment? I have it in my garage." You fool! I'm like, yeah, I live in New York City. We don't have garages.
Well, I mean, this has been on my desk for like months, so this isn't in the garage.
But that looks like it's a different. These gallon of spring water and the Poland Spring. You guys probably have Poland Spring.
I've seen them. Yeah,
they're very thin. They're not. They're recycled plastic. Maybe that is the reason why it may have gotten a little.
Well, you can't really see it. This thing has that EPA symbol, that thing on that thing on it. Yeah, so that's what you should look for. But I am sorry that happened to you. But no one I've ever talked to has ever had that happen. So that's weird.
Well, you want to know the weird thing? I want to say for maybe a few weeks, it was on the counter and nothing happened. I would have seen the leak. Then I put it on the floor, and it was probably there a month. And then we noticed when we moved it, Walter moved it, and he was like, "Oh, come here, quick." And it was actually leaking. It created like a little puddle. And
So, do you live on top of a chemical plant or a meth lab or
No.
something?
No, and you know what I did notice? So I you guys told me don't do it always for every single. I only used it for the really, really difficult records. And because I always rinse afterwards, I would save the solution that goes in that little tray, right? And I put it in a jar. And the jar is glass, and it was on the kitchen counter. And I would notice, is that photosensitive? Because it would change color.
You're supposed to keep it in a cool or like cool, dry
And-
place like
probably
inside
dark
your
place.
house. Yeah. I don't leave mine out in the garage because it gets hot as shit. So
Okay.
But
No,
but
it wasn't hot. No, it was.
I
for sure
also
it
don't
wasn't
put
in
it.
that-
I also don't put it in the refrigerator because it gets cold and it gets thick. So at least
Okay,
I
no.
use pure. I use pure Turgitol, so mine's a little bit different.
So if I do it again, I'm going to do the mix in a contain, like a safe container. Also because both of those liquids come in plastic containers. So
I've got Ilfitol that's been in my fridge for like a year. So
I think
don't store it next to your food, Patrick.
well, it's in my refrigerator out. It's in my refrigerator out in the garage. So
Oh,
Okay. See, people that have houses, I mean, you guys, we can't relate to the outhouse and the
Listen, we don't have no outhouse. Come on, man. We got
Come
indoor
on.
plumbing around here.
we got plumbing. Come on. Well, maybe Chance doesn't, but I do.
St. Louis is rough. We got to go out.
He's in St. Louis, man. Come on.
All bets are off in St. Louis. No, Arnaldo, I was going to say, I think you raised a good point earlier because it made me think, talking about virgin materials. Think about like in the late 70s, early 80s when they were recycling, when they started reusing chemical
pieces of newspaper in your record. I mean,
right. So there may be something involved with that plastic because obviously those companies are all about saving some money. And if they're using low grade plastic, I don't know. I'm not a chemist. I'm not Walter White or any of that kind of stuff. But
neither am I. But apparently, I play one on YouTube.
Chance, can you pin Christopher's comment?
Yes. Now you got to go a glass eyedropper. So now you're really doing some.
Would you actually need 2 drops in 400 milliliters?
Don't premix.
My metric conversion is horrible. So doesn't it take like almost 4 liters to make a gallon? So
I think 400 milliliters is it 2 cups?
Yeah, I would probably use 1 drop to be on the safe side. If inside the Humming Guru, just plain, So I think 2 drops, you're looking at a rinse cycle afterwards, unless you already do a rinse cycle afterwards.
No, I've always done a rinse cycle after.
Okay, well then you can probably go to 2.
Delightful.
And another question, Patrick, since you're an expert at this, I've noticed.
Obviously not.
He's a floor salesman as well.
Yeah, no shit.
Do you know why the water? There's some vinyl that repels the water more than other vinyl.
I know what you're saying. So I don't know the
as
answer.
it's spinning, as it's spinning, some records look like they're always soaked as they're spinning. Others, it beads off. Do you know what
that means? They don't. That means that the surfactant or the beading or whatever it is, is not doing what it should do. That's my experience. Whenever I've had something that the water beaded up, it means that the water was not. What's the term called? I don't know I'd have to go look it up, but there's a term for what it is. Somebody in the peanut gallery will probably be able to correct me. There's a word for that where it beads up and does not penetrate into the grooves. So that actually tells you.
It has nothing to do with the quality of the vinyl itself.
I don't think so. Somebody may have put I don't know what happens when you put that last stuff on it. I don't know how long that stuff stays on the record. Yeah, that LA. Sometimes you get a sticker.
I use it. Yeah, I use it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how long that stuff stays on the vinyl, or what about Groove Glide? I remember Groove Glide used to be a thing. You get those 2 pads and you'd rub them together, and then you'd put them on the record after you clean them. Has anybody heard of Groove Glide besides me?
No, so I've heard of Soundguard from the 70s.
Yeah, Groove Glide was supposed to make your stylus go nice and smooth through the grooves.
So you guys have Facebook, I assume, right? on your feed, have you ever seen this new ad for someone who's like pouring some kind of like glue over the record that supposedly fixes
the wood glue,
wood glue
thing?
stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's not wood glue.
Huh.
They claim that it fixes scratches.
Okay, are you gonna keep this stream, Chance?
Oh yeah, I always leave
Yeah.
that. Sure.
Okay, well, I don't know. I'll go all in here. So
Have you seen it? First of all, have you seen this ad?
I have not, but I have. But years ago, I used wood glue a couple of times, and it was just such a hassle because you could only do one side at a time. You put and it never spread. Sometimes it wouldn't spread correctly, and then you'd peel it. Some would get on the freaking label, and it was just not for me. But then there was this stuff called. And I swear to God, it might be still. It's called vinyl revirginizer. So it was. I swear to God,
Like
it was
a
made in Australia. It's still made. It probably still made in Australia. But
I dated a girl that had that happen one time, and it was not advertised.
It was called record revirginizer. Sorry, not vinyl. Record revirginizer in Australia. It was this viscous liquid, that you would film. You would pour it on the record, and it would make a film after about 6 hours, and you could peel it off, and it was it would bind to PVA, which is what vinyl's made of, and so you could actually see the stuff that it pulls out from your record. So I found out what the recipe was. There was a thing 30 years ago, a guy named Reg Williamson in a hi-fi forum. He actually put in a recipe for this stuff. And so I started making my own. So I started making my own record revirginizer. I got this double boiler. It literally was like a meth lab. I'm sitting there, not that had made meth, but I'm boiling this stuff, and I'm like, I've got this white powder that I put to make it.
Federal agents outside.
So I'm making 4 bottles at a time, and I'm like, finally, after a while, I got to the point where I realized that, with a good ultrasonic or a good cleaning regimen, I didn't need that stuff, and it was a pain in the butt because it got all sticky, but it was better than wood glue. You could do both sides at one time. But is it still around? Did someone post an ad of that for? Okay. Yeah. So if you want to try something like wood glue, but not go into the wood glue thing, get a bottle of that and try it out. It's not Snicko. There's an offshoot of it called in Spain called Winyl. WINYL. I swear to God, it's called Winyl. And
Willie?
Yeah. And so this chemist who's a friend of a vinyl ripper that I don't get along with in Spain called Boticario. There's
another vinyl ripper.
Subculture of
there's
vinyl
tons of
ripping
them.
is
There's
amazing.
tons of them. And apparently I don't get along with a lot of them, but
Yeah, he's called Jack the Ripper.
yeah, so he's a pharmacist. I don't know, but
Oh my God.
But yeah, so he has a chemist friend that ripped it, that kind of went that, and so then now they have Winyl. So they have Winyl. So yeah.
Wait.
Unreal.
That's great. I put this in the chat there, Chance. I put the link in the private chat.
Let me elevate that. Oh, here it is. Oh my gosh, David, I hope this doesn't get the stream taken down because
No, it's fine. I looked at it.
All right, you already proofed it for me. Okay, I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna get anybody in
It's
trouble.
legit.
Record revinyl. So this is Australian.
Revirginizer.
He said that.
Revirginizer.
Revirginizer.
There it is.
Really?
So if you want to go down this rabbit hole, the Surface Noise live stream does not guarantee any results. Does not have any liability.
It's got an asterisk on it. It says not for women's body parts.
All
so
that
I think
stuff.
that's right. Yeah, you got to be careful.
I am just an agent, a conduit of information exchange.
I'm the Walter White. Yeah. So Winyl's still here. So hold on. So I'll put it in the private chat. So here's the Winyl.
Perfect.
The Winyl link. Yes.
Oh.
So developed by chemists and collectors. So chemist being the guy the friend of the guy, and the collector being the douchebag that I know. So now I've never really met Peter, but I mean this guy that I'm talking about in Spain is a real he's just
Real piece of work, huh?
Yeah. Mr. Everything I do is the best, and he has he has a system that makes like Micro 45s look like a freaking K-tel machine, man. It's like,
Well, good. Let's introduce him.
Spain versus Germany. Here
we
go.
don't. Yeah, we don't need to be starting any kind of international conflicts, David, of vinyl envy, because
it's like the World Cup of like vinyl. There you go.
We went to war today over vinyl. News at 10.
So, did any of you guys pick up this one? Let me make my. I'm not going to say
Looks like a Grateful Dead.
It is. So, I'm not exactly the biggest Deadhead, but apparently this was the first. This is a reissue of the first ever Dick's Picks. This is some show right in that wheelhouse when they were on fire, early 70s. This is from 73. But Real Gone Music does these. And apparently this one is the first time it's actually coming from the tapes. When they were previously released it, it was a digital reproduction.
Did they use the Plantagenet system on those or no?
Oh, man, I got no. Let's see.
The Plangent process, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know about any of that. But
because I know they did on a lot of that Grateful Dead stuff. So
is that the very first pressing on vinyl of the Dick's Picks?
Yes. This is they previously released it on vinyl, but it was digitally sourced. This is actually from the tape. They said it's let's see. Well, again, intentional language. Remastered for vinyl by Jeffrey Norman from the original tapes for the first time ever. So I've added a little wrinkle there to continue the hues of ambiguity.
Ever.
It
says
3,000 numbered copies.
Yeah, so 3,000 numbered copies, and it's one of those things where it's like I like the Dead.
It'll be on Vinyl Me Please next year. So.
So, do any of you have the Vinyl Me Please Grateful Dead box set, which is being repressed tomorrow?
Oh, is that which one? Is that the one that has the
blue? That's the blue cover or the blue box.
Oh shit! I had the original Warner, and then I have the one that came out, the white one, but I don't think I have that one though.
So to answer your question, Arnaldo, I bought it, but I bought it after it had been out a while, and actually when Chad was still in business with them, when they were selling it through their site and had a promotional coupon. So I got it for a song. I didn't get it basically for nothing like Mazzy did. And, I'm sure everyone's heard that story, but I got it for.
You got the box for
Chad sent it to Mazzy? That's interesting.
Not starting rumors. But no, but that was when, things didn't
Shut
sell
the fuck
right
up,
away.
David.
And then I think I got like 20% off. So I think
nice.
I think it was originally like $500, and I think I paid like $350. So it wasn't too terrible. But
because I have an original Working Man's Dead, then I think I have the MoFi of that, and American Beauty. I got is it the Chris Bellman cut, the Rhino reissue that came out?
Yeah, that was Chris Bellman. That was really good too.
Oh, okay. And then
that's the one that won the shootout. I did a shootout.
Oh, really?
Okay. And the Chris Bellman won by a landslide.
And then I saw that it has a lot of live albums. I don't know if I really like the Dead that much. I know, what is it? 72 is the one to have, right?
Right.
And then Live Dead. So probably two are.
Yeah.
But the other two I'm not familiar with. The other two.
Well, one was, and I don't want to misquote myself, but one had never been put on vinyl before. That was one of the allures of that box set, one of those live recordings. And of course, again, like we were talking about earlier, all colored vinyl, they're hitting you with all. I think there's a slip mat in there because everyone wants a slip mat with the dancing bears. But
I would think they'd do that in like reel to reel or something. That would seem to be like the thing for the Grateful Dead guys that are older. The reel to reel thing would be. I mean, it's a niche thing, but I mean, I know Harry would buy all of them
for sure.
So yeah, my whole thing is like, do I really need to rebuy the first two that I already have just because they come in the box?
I mean, how big of a Deadhead are you? That would be my.
I'm not.
And
and spend your money elsewhere.
Well, and if I hadn't got a good deal on it, honestly, a good deal, right? If I hadn't got the promotional price and all that stuff, I wouldn't have paid $500 or $600. What's it going? What's the reissue going for now?
I don't think they've announced it yet. The pricing on it.
Funny how that works.
I think it goes live tomorrow. So I think if it was originally $399, it may be $450. Yeah.
Mm.
So.
But no, so I took a flyer on that just because, I casually like the Dead. I'm going to see Dead and Company in a couple weeks.
Really? You are?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's in that? Who's in that of note?
I think John Mayer is a principal guitar. So I mean, well, it's like a lot of these bands, these farewell tours. Apparently,
well, if Mayer's playing, is Palladino playing with him? If Mayer's there, is Palladino
I would guess so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pino Palladino.
Yeah. But a lot of these bands are going on these farewells, right? So I bought the tickets a while ago before I paid a reasonable price. I'm like in an amphitheater lawn, I think even, but no. So I'm again lukewarm. Took a flyer on that. I'm sure it'll be nice, but if it's not, I know there's dead because they sold out. I mean, it's 3,000 real gone. I mean, yeah, it was up for like an hour, and buy now, cry later. I've heard that before. So
up for an hour, sold out. How many? 3,000.
3,000. Yep.
Okay. Wow.
The cars didn't even sell that many. So
yeah.
Not yet.
No OBI strip. That's why.
That was the line. Yeah, the line of delineation. If this had an OB, it would have been sold in a half hour.
So Patrick, have you done any shootouts on Cars albums?
Yes, I have. I mean, not that I posted, but I mean the Cars MoFi is probably the worst Cars MoFi
What
of
did
them all.
I said that earlier.
I mean, easily the worst of them all. And the OG to me is the one to beat. I think I had the Nautilus dude.
Yeah, I've got that one. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad, but I mean, it's I
the
mean,
OG's
Nautilus.
better.
Yeah, the OG to me is the gold standard, So we'll see what
will you be getting this
earlier. I said that the reason they picked the title for Cars first was to see how easy it is to beat MoFi. So
yeah, I mean that's not going to be that's low hanging fruit right there, man.
Man, I mean Ray Charles would pick that one right. I mean,
but I am going to do a shootout because Jason talked on and on about how awesome the Fly Porky fucking Electric Warrior was, and I'm like going, I just don't remember it being that good, and I'm like going because I've got the other ones. So I'm like going, so
which ones are you going to do it with?
I'm going to do it with the Kevin Gray, the MoFi, and I think I have the US, and I'll do it with the Fly. I mean, I was buying something else, and the seller had a nice looking pressing of Electric Warrior on Fly, and I hadn't had it for a while. So screw it. It was like 20 pounds. So I said, I'll get it. And it was in great shape. And I recorded it. And
how many years ago was that?
The Electric Warrior came out that I did this?
No, the Fly one you got.
Oh, I just got that this week again. So I've had it, but
wait, how much did you pay for it?
20 pounds. I mean, probably like $25.
An original Fly.
Yeah. From the UK. Yeah.
I saw it at a fair 2 months ago for $250.
It wasn't sold, was it?
I mean, whenever I buy on Discogs, I always look for sellers that have other stuff that I want, and I'll take a chance on I'll look at their grading.
I get it, yeah, but
so
it was 10 times more expensive than what you paid. Does it have? Did it have the poster?
No poster. No
okay.
poster. Yeah. So I mean, I saw an Australian freaking Master of Reality today with the 6-panel poster, not the bootleg 4-panel, with the 6-panel poster. It was a reissue, but the poster was legit for like $30. But shipping from Australia, and that's $30 like Australian, but shipping from Australia is like $30. So if you get like 3 or 4,
you're lucky. I sent a package to friends that was maybe I don't even think it was 3 pounds. Like in terms of weight, it was probably a little over 2 pounds. I think it came out to $80.
Whoa. Wow. Yeah, I'm not mailing anything to Australian people.
I know, but a record may be cheaper because a record only weighs like 20
But I'm on a big maxi cut kick now. I'm on like I'm like on a maxi cut kick. So that's my thing right now. Is like I'm gathering all the maxi cuts that I want to me.
Like the
before they become outrageous.
The 12-inch maxi? Okay.
The maxi cut, the cutting process in Australia that they use for the guy that cut Dan Bartlett, who cut that the Audio 5 Sergeant Pepper, the one.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The guy who cut that, he worked at EMI, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jason, but they developed this process with the Neumann cutting lathe where they could go deeper in the grooves for a longer period of time. I can't remember exactly. There's a whole thing on the Hoffman forums where one of the engineers that worked there describes it. But, they sound phenomenal. I had a little river band, the greatest hits. It was great. And then Jason mentioned the AC/DC Back in Black maxi cut. So I said, screw it. I'll get that one too. Cause I loved the little river band. And I compared it to the Ludwig and it was amazing. I mean, it sounded great, so now I've been trying to grab these maxi cuts of stuff that I like, so.
This Neumann lathe that you just mentioned, is it the same that they're using to cut? I think I saw it on the Obi strip of, I think it was Ziggy Stardust 50th anniversary that came out last year. They mentioned a Neumann lathe. Is it the same you're referencing?
Neumann's.
It was probably. I mean, yeah. It was like
It's
the
a
standard back in the day.
V90, something like
V80,
that.
probably a V80. I think they were called V80 because I know SST does that too. Back, when they do their analog cuts, they say cut on a Neumann, V80, blah blah blah. So I think that was the standard back then, was the Neumann, and there was a couple of other ones too. But yeah.
Yeah, they've got to be 80 V70.
Where's George Borden when you need him? So, yeah.
George, get on line 1. Let's go.
George, great guy. That's not a cut.
No.
That was not a cut.
No.
So,
although
someone mentioned the white label promo. Sorry about the cars, and that one's different because that one does not have. That one has timing strips in between the songs, and I just recorded one of those probably about 2 months ago. And it's weird listening to it without the songs flowing into each other. The white label promo it's cut. So
it's funny you said that, because I was going to say earlier, when I was a DJ, you couldn't backtrack that album to catch we had to put those cuts to a 4-track tape, because on the vinyl you couldn't get the turntable to start fast enough to get the beginning of the songs, because they kind of laid into each other.
Sorry, John mentioned the white label promo, so
that's fine. Yeah, but that was one thing about their album; it kind of flowed. Very tightly.
The Neumann lathe, the cutting lathe they're using is the VMS 80.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's kind of like the stand. Most of them are Neumann of some sort.
Yeah,
but is it because it's an old fashioned and they're trying to recapture?
Because it works.
Oh, because it works. Okay.
I think they just recently started making new lathes. That was gone technology.
The newer models don't allow you as much fine tuning because they're trying to reduce error. But the older models, it was a little more of a craft, if you know what I'm saying. So you had a little more capability to do things differently in terms of how long it ran and how deep it got. Whereas some of those areas are more restricted in the newer models in terms of what it would allow you to do. So.
Man, you guys know some shit. That's all I'm going to say.
And sometimes that shit's wrong. And sometimes that shit's wrong, as like Arnaldo.
Well, I mean, sometimes. Just like sitting back, I got my Michael Jackson Thriller popcorn. I'm just taking it all in because you guys are really making it.
Everybody has a certain set of knowledge that everybody that they know, and so it's great to have a conglomeration of people. That's why I like hanging out with, when I hang out with like Jason or someone like Bip Bop Boom, man, someone who knows like about a genre that I'm not that clued into, like punk and stuff like that, and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I just soak it all in. I'm like going, every time him and his wife do those streams, I end up buying $100 worth of records. Like, oh shit, what is that? I got to get it. I love people that turn me on to stuff I've never heard before. It's great. That's what I love about this place.
1,000,000%. Patrick, I was going to ask you, so you brought up George. George's stream is gaining some momentum, and he's kind of eating into your playground, because Sunday nights was kind of your bag. I'd check in there from time to time. I mean, how do you feel about him encroaching on your turf? Because his shit won't stop. It used to be like a 2-hour stream, and now he's got Jason's on there sometimes. I'm on there sometimes.
I'm glad. I'm the first one who introduced the VC to John Bandy. I hope you know. I mean, I was the first person to get him to come on camera.
So you're the guy.
I sent him a camera. But I'm so glad for George. George is a great guy. I went to the San Francisco show with him. We had a great time. He'd never been to a record show. We went to the San Francisco show, had a blast. I have 3 live streams on it. I mean, if people come and hang out with me, that's fine. If people want to hang out with George, that is even more fine. I want more people, I'm tempted to, not do my Sunday stream because I want to go hang out on George's stream.
Just merge. We call it an M&A. Yeah. They just merge the mega powers, and then 5-hour stream. What's up?
So I have nothing but, maybe I'll start streaming on Thursday instead of Sunday. So
hang on a second. I've already planned my flag every other Thursday. I did market research. I was not going to encroach on anybody's stream, and if I did, I wasn't real worried about who they were. So.
And on Tuesday I was fine. Then Steve and Shanice started doing it on Tuesdays, and I love Steve and Shanice. So it's like, it's not like any of these people that, George's stream is George is more technical anyway. So
yes,
George is more technical, and I play music. It's a whole different thing. So
what's going on? What's going on in auctions? You got an auction coming up, Patrick?
Well, what happened was I went through my entire collection because I needed space, and I had all these records on the floor, and I needed to shelve them, but I didn't have the space to shelve them. So I said, okay, I'm going to do that thing where you start pulling records, you know, and you start shifting everything over to the left.
Yep, I'm in the same right now. I'm just moving shit around.
And so I spent all day one day moving shit to the left, and I went through every record I had and started pulling duplicates. I said, all right, man, I've got 3 copies of May Blitz. I was like, oh shit, I don't need 3 copies of May Blitz, and people will buy this Vertigo May Blitz shit. So I started pulling all the duplicates, and I have so much stuff to sell. Other than and you know, I'm selling all the stuff that I got in. Like I got an original Ace of Spades, and you know, all the stuff that I got in. You know, but I pulled enough for probably 4 auctions just of duplicates. Some really nice, some really decent stuff too. You know, so.
Well, here's a question: how do you feel about? Because, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe you weren't the first to market on this, but the auction thing, you were the first auction I saw in the community. You were doing auctions pretty regularly. Now you've got Mazzy doing it.
Mazzy was the first. Mazzy did it
Mazzy
before
was
me.
the first? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Mazzy did the first one, and I thought, hey, I could do this without having to, like, you know, take pictures. I hate taking pictures and posting them on eBay and all that shit. It's like, you know, plus I can sell it to people I know, and if people don't like it, they know they can talk to me, they can send it back or whatever, you know. So I thought, let's give it a shot, you know. And so it's been great for me and for everybody else. I think, you know, nobody's complained. So
winning an auction seems difficult, but other than that, it's fine.
Yeah, you know, I have the same problem, man. I'll go to people's auctions and I get my ass kicked too, you know. So I mean, it happens to me too. So it's just a matter of like when that, you know, it's hard to navigate the lag and stuff, and it's hard to articulate to people, you know, that StreamYard is 7 seconds behind, you know, ahead of what you see. And so, you know, so I try to, you know, so I try to be as fair as possible, you know.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I just, you know.
So I'm just curious. I've never done an auction, but how do you see? Do you go by what's in the comments of the StreamYard, or do you have a
tearing it apart? Tearing it apart.
I have a separate client on another screen that's not on StreamYard that is just like somebody in the peanut gallery.
As if you're watching the stream. Got it.
And that is my source of truth. I let people know, hey, this is a source of truth. No matter what I see, no matter what you see, that is the one, you know. And I check to make sure it's lagged or anything, you know. So you know, and that's the best you can do, you know, is try to be fair.
To make it fair so that everyone sees. Yeah. When you call the auction is over, exactly who the last person is.
I tell them because they can't see that screen. They can't. If it was a controversy, I could show the screen easily, but it would slow things down. And nobody's ever asked me. No one ever said, "Hey, you know," because I'm the only one that's getting screwed because I'm making less money.
Because bids come in higher after you say that it's over.
Right, you screw yourself.
I did a UK white album. And I literally someone bid $100 more than the last guy at the same moment, and I had to tell him. I said, "Hey, you know, you bid $100 more, but the guy, you know, who came in on this screen won." So, you know.
Patrick, how do you respond to this? Because hang on, let me throw it back up. Not Tim. How's it going, Tim? Malaya, who have elevated her profile in the community. How do you please to these charges?
You know, at least I didn't ruin her floors. So, you know, that's all I got, man.
You got that going for you.
Yeah, you know, and at least now that I'm on the panel, Dave isn't spitting nails at me like he was in the peanut gallery. He was just throwing darts at me. You know?
Sometimes this is the first time I've ever heard somebody go up on the dais to avoid damage. Wow,
I'm like going.
It's a great technique.
Yes. So Tim's another guy that I think should do more live streams. He's been on my live streams a few times. I think he goes on Steve Westman's. I think. But Tim's a great guy. I can't. Next time I go to Denver, I hope to hang out with Tim and do some digging. So,
Patrick, have you ever had any, for lack of a better word,
trolls?
Well, no. Let's start there. Tell me some troll stories, because surely I'm not alone in this endeavor.
Oh, please! Are you kidding me? I have many trolls. Well, I earned some of my trolls because that's why I say when people come on to Rachel's live stream, they should sit in the peanut gallery for 2 weeks and not say a word and just watch and listen. Because I came in on the ground floor of Rachel's thing, and I came up, and I'm one of those people that just, you know, I'm not serious, but I'm also I'm very sarcastic, and then I also was pretty sensitive to people saying shit to me, so I wasn't used to the whole banter back and forth. You know, so I got into it with a few people like Randy Deadwax. I mean, I got into it with him big time. Now we're great friends. But I mean,
Patrick, you're lazy. That's why.
Oh yes, lazy, arrogant, and something else. I can't remember. But which is funny because I wasn't even on that. I wasn't even there. I was like at an antique fair when he said all that stuff. So.
I was. It's funny you said I was working out in my garage and I have the stream on. And
come on, you don't work out, Crisco. Come on.
Well, I have to. I've got people coming after me. These people, I want to give them great masturbation material, and if I'm out of shape, how are my trolls going to get their kicks?
Exactly.
He's got to have to work on that grip.
I've got to make it up to my troll. So I'm working out. I've got the stream on, and then all that stuff happens, and literally here you come in, and I loved it because I'm literally at an antique fair, like looking for records, and what the fuck is going on?
I'm listening to the stream while I'm digging. I'm like going, why is this happening? I'm not even there, and I'd never said anything about the guy, ever. Once I came on there, I said he was a crybaby, but I mean, he was sending me emails saying all this stuff. He was trying to tell me, he's like going this competition. He's like going, maybe we can get Kevin Gray involved. I'm like, Kevin Gray's not going to give a shit about, our vinyl ripping competition. He's, I'm like, Kevin Gray's not going to care, and so
vinyl flatulence.
Hey,
so I hope it's okay. I told him, hey, I apologize for calling you a crybaby. I don't want to have anybody mad at me. I don't want to, devolve Rachel's stream into like you versus me. Just do what you do, and it's all good. So,
Arnaldo, just for your public safety, I just want to make sure you have all the doors locked.
I know. I saw.
I think Louis is really infatuated. You planted the Twin Temple seeds with him, and he's doubling down on it. So,
Louis, while you're in Arnaldo's house, can you fix the floors?
Yeah.
No, but Pedro, what I was going to ask is, so in these auctions, I mean, how do you manage you even said obviously it's not a perfect forum to do this. How do you manage that when people are, for lack of a word, chafed that they might have got undercut or they feel the timing's off? Because when I've watched your auctions, I've never seen that, but surely it's had to happen.
No one's ever vocally said it, to me. If they are chafed, they don't say anything. They might not come back, but I mean, I have a pretty steady group of people that are there most every time, and it grows a little bit every time, but you have the bulk of the people that buy your records, and then you probably get 2 or 3 new people every time. Okay. And you hope that that you're able to make those guys happy, and then you can get other people, but
Arnaldo, are you causing trouble? What's this?
That looks like that looks like the Virgin Mary or a steak, one of the two. So maybe you could sell that to the Inquirers.
Is that the Shroud of Turin?
The Shroud of Arnaldo, the Shroud of Turgiclean.
I think a colostomy bag came loose.
Actually, it looks a lot better now than when we first removed the jug because it was very wet. So I let it dry out, and now it just looks like a stain that I could probably easily sand off and restain.
I'm going to throw out an alternate scenario here. Maybe your partner spilled something on the floor and then blamed it on the turgid. Yes.
It was actually in the spot where the gallon of Turgiclean was.
Yeah, maybe he conveniently put it there. I mean, I'm just saying.
Is Columbo dead? Is Columbo dead?
In Arnaldo's defense, I think we were getting ready for a stream
or
something. For the spoiler alert, the Kiss conversation. We're doing a Kiss series talking about Kiss. But yeah, Arnaldo, he jetted like the building was on fire. He didn't even say, "Excuse me," I don't even think. He just went. He left, and then 5 minutes later, he came back. Guys, you're never going to believe this. So I was there in real time. So
it was real time because Walter was cleaning up, and he's like, "You got to come now, come now,
get over here now! Come on, go!"
The thing you were talking about, Chance, with Patrick's auctions is when these guys will basically say, "I can't take that higher bid because, you didn't make it in time." I mean, that gives a lot of credibility to a person.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Yeah.
So I think that's, part of what starts to become, evident as you go through it.
Once you explain to them the lag, because some people, they're new, they don't understand the lag. So,
but do you do a refresh on your system of justice, or do you yes? Okay. You do refresh.
I've also jumped to other machines, because I have access to a handful of machines, because I'm a system administrator, so I can go, in a couple of data centers. So,
Yeah.
So I do that too, but you're never going to sync up with everybody.
No,
Someone's
but
always
picking the
gonna
one
be,
next to Mazzy's place in Seattle was pretty suspicious.
like Novice Nick is usually like 10 minutes behind everybody.
Oh, that guy.
He'll bid on something that went 5 minutes ago.
He always bids $3.
I know.
So does it matter?
Yeah. So I'm always going to sell something for $3 because Nick's always going to bid on it. I know I got $3 in the bank.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, every record. So I'm doing all right.
Funny stuff.
I can imagine Nick when he goes out to eat somewhere else. They bring him the check.
$3.
He's ready to go, and then he goes, "Oh, by the way, apple pie." Just like.
Yeah,
I feel bad for him. Yeah,
everyone's been super cool. I mean, but Nick's one of the main reasons why I like doing this because he lives his nearest record store is hundreds of miles away from him.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's a lot of people like that, that can't even go to a record store. I was like that when I lived in West Texas. I was like 3.5 hours from a record store.
Well, I think about
we take it for granted.
Patrick, where do you live now?
I live in Northern California, the Sacramento area.
Oh, okay, because I see you with your Dallas Cowboys. I always assume
I'm from Texas.
Okay.
No, I'm born and raised in Texas, so I'm a Texan, but I live in California. So that's always the qualifier.
So you're not going to the same estate sales as the Waxed.
No, but I'm
nor funerals.
My goal this summer is to start a drive and hit every antique mall record store from here all the way down to LA, and then hang out with Wax for a couple of days, and then drive back and with hopefully my car full of records.
You're not the first person that goes to shop for records at antique malls or antique stores. I didn't even know they carry records.
Mostly overpriced, but occasionally you can find some good stuff.
About 10 years ago, it was still like one of those things because people weren't exactly like the final Renaissance hadn't really reached the masses. So you could still find some treasures. Not anymore. I mean, I don't know, Patrick, maybe you have a different experience, but I haven't found a good record.
The best thing I find is the antique fair that I was at was one that was outside. People, they do it once a month, the second Sunday of every month. So it's not like people at the antique malls that have their little stalls and they check the prices. Yeah. This is just people that come in and just they sell and sometimes they're there 1 month. Next month they might not be, and you never know who's going to be there. So
Patrick, have you seen the one out of Lebanon, Tennessee?
Mm-mm.
That's the home base of Cracker Barrel. Be careful.
No. But it used to be called Lebanon Antique Mall. Now it's called Colecco.
Oh, Colecco, Chad. Yeah, Colecco, Chad. Yep.
Yeah.
How far is that from Lexington? Because I'm going to be in Lexington in like a weekend.
It's southeast of there. It's just east of where they're at is east of Nashville.
Okay.
About 30 minutes.
I'm going to try to hang out with Bob Bradley when I'm there. So I'll be in Louisville for a day. So I'm going to see if I can hang out.
But just watch what people are paying for some of those records. It will stun you.
A lot? Is it a lot or less?
Wait.
Have you not seen he's got a dual platform, maybe tri-platform. He's got Facebook integration, he's got YouTube integration, and to David's point, I mean, and he gets new stock. He must have distributor access because he has new stock.
There's new stock and collection.
And it's David's point, and that's kind of why I put up Wyoming Dave's comment. Some people don't have access to some of these titles. They're paying like a premium for this when they really shouldn't be. Jason, you might have a stroke if you watch some of these prices.
Well, Wyoming Dave did one of he found records for 25 cents that easily go for $10. I mean, they're not. Some of them were more popular than others.
For sure.
I went to a garage sale.
I haven't seen any 25-cent.
Wyoming Dave hasn't seen a bill in years. He just carries change.
I went to a garage sale 2 weeks ago. It wasn't even advertised. I just happened to pull in and I couldn't see any records. I said, I'll get out anyway. And I went and I looked. And I said, you got any records? There's a whole stack of them. I pulled like 50 albums for like $40. Nice stuff like Deep Purple, Machine Head. Nice, clean Boston Double Wally, Columbia Santa Maria. Great stuff. Is
that what you were selling the other day?
A couple of them, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I take that stuff home and they get ultrasonically cleaned twice. So every record gets ultrasonically cleaned.
They each get at least an $8 upgrade.
Yeah.
Right.
And their floors are safe. I clean it for you. I take all the risk for the hardwood floors. You don't have to carry any dangerous chemicals in your house. I take all the risk.
Patrick, any truth to the rumor that you are executive at Rug Doctor? Is there any truth to the rumor?
Yes.
Confirmed.
Yes, the truth is out. Yes, I keep my stuff on a rug right here. So I mean, yes, it's literally on a rug right behind me.
I just got a notification. Colecco is now live. They're on part 2 of their show.
There's another place on Facebook that sells. It's on. I think it's in. I can't remember where it is, but they do a live stream every day, and their prices they're selling like Dolly Parton albums for like $20, and people are buying this shit. And I'm like going, they're selling stuff that I wouldn't even buy for a quarter, for like $10-$20. I'm like going, holy shit, this guy's got the deal, man. So.
All right, so guys, I'm going to try something. This may shut the stream down. We're going to go fourth wall. We're going to go video within a video. Let's watch some Chad real quick. Let me do this.
Is this a sale? Is this a big sale?
Hang on, yes.
Well, that's just a bad mindset. I do have some puzzles.
This is the same guy.
Puzzles that came in yesterday, and I forgot to show them. If you're not familiar, we have a really cool company that we were getting puzzles from. I thought they were discontinued, but I think this is some last.
Now we're puzzled.
Maybe. I'll show those.
I'm gonna have a heart attack. That's like the funniest shit I've ever heard.
There's no prices on those.
I've got 2 crates of vintage. Let me do that right now.
Wait till you see the prices.
I'm going to go through 2 crates of vintage.
I've seen this guy. Yeah, I've seen this.
We got started with. I've got new CDs. I've also got
my grandmother
Kill and Y&T Cherry. We're going to do those tomorrow. I have let people down 2 nights in a row on the Y&T and the Kill. We'll have those priced and ready to go tomorrow. I will definitely be promoting those for tomorrow night's sale. So I apologize to everybody who was waiting on the Kill.
I see an Obi strip. That must be $100.
The T. I will do those tomorrow night. They will be at $7. You missed my comment twice by Martina McBride he did not sell last night. That's the first time I've seen your comment.
Quit talking to yourself, dude.
Maybe it didn't come through, or maybe you were sending it at the wrong time.
Nice vinyl crates.
I will try and find that. All the Martina, let's see. I think all the Martina McBride sold, though. You sure you wasn't watching an old feed? Because I'm pretty sure all the Martina McBride sold.
Bust out the Sylvia albums. Come on, dude.
I take that back. There's one
Crystal
right here
Gale.
called Martina. I have one called Martina. It is $3.99.
I've never heard that price before anything in there.
I know, me too. I'm like, oh, wow, this must be the bargain bin.
It's like a jazz
He must know we're watching him.
Yeah.
First sale, CD to Debbie Blair. Martina McBride, Martina.
Oh, it's a CD. Okay.
I have not seen any
Okay.
That's a
outfield CDs yet.
Okay.
All right. Matthew Christ is talking about STP Unplugged. Yes, it is an unofficial. If anybody's interested, it is $26.99. It's on colored vinyl.
And it's a bootleg.
And the FBI is monitoring the
That
stream.
is already sold. Brownsville.
How much is that Rush
Hemisphere?
Hemisphere?
There was 3 or 4 people wanted the Brownsville station. It's already sold.
How much is that
STP is
Rush Hemisphere?
$26.99.
Hang on. We may have a guest entering. Oh, they must.
Matthew Christ has this record here. That's the one he's talking about. It's $26.99.
No, show the
if
hemispheres,
anybody
dude.
wants to try
Hemispheres.
it. Okay, let me bring up tonight's vintage stuff. We'll do a recap and do buy it now, best offer.
Buy it now, best
and then,
okay.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Mostly buy it now, best offer stuff. I'll try to keep a few auctions running. And here's what we'll do. We'll do these right here, right now.
I bid on one time, and I had the high bid. And
these are puzzles. These are from the UK. They're called Rock Saws.
Some other girl said, "Hey, can you
we
top
have
this bid?"
Iron Maiden Run to the Hills. Iron Maiden Run to the Hills. And I don't know if I've ever had that one, to be honest with you. $24.99. These are all new and sealed. Here's probably one of our biggest and best-selling ones of all time. Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. That is $24.99.
James could do that puzzle in 3 minutes.
Iron Maiden puzzle. That's sold to James Bragg. Some of these I could take waiting list for.
Puzzles and records.
Yellow Brick Road is $24.99. And then here is a very popular one. That's why I had 3 on back order. Ooh. Rush, Fly By Night. That's a cool looking puzzle.
But you won't show the Rush Hemispheres album.
The blues
you got 2
in there. That's $24.99 for Rush, Fly By Night, and I have Goodbye. That's a really cool one.
If you have to ask, you can't
Goodbye
afford
Yellow
it,
Brick Road, all the different
There we
stuff.
go.
Puzzles are $24.99. Josie Wells got a Rush. That's sold to Josie Wells. James Bragg got the Iron Maiden. I've got 2 Rush left.
The outlaw Josie Wells.
And here in a minute, I'll bring over all the other ones I have.
These are the people that are trolling you, Chance.
They're $24.99. It's a UK product. They're technically imports. They're made in Europe, in the United Kingdom. Matthew Christ wants a Rush, Fly By Night, and I've got one of those left. And I've got one.
Stream is puzzling.
Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
I dare you.
I'll bring over some more here in a minute. I've got David Bowie, Nirvana, Kiss, Guns N' Roses, Pantera, AC/DC, Nirvana, Ozzy, Stones, Pink Floyd.
He never stops talking.
And many more. Excuse me.
No.
James Bragg's also going to do Elton John.
Coming up for air. Watch out.
And
he's on oxygen.
They're 500 pieces. They're 500 pieces.
Puzzle time, people.
We have
Look at Mazzy's
Berlin
comment.
Pleasure Victim,
$24.99.
Berlin Pleasure
Holy shit.
$24.99. Berlin Pleasure Victim.
Holy shit.
Drifters Golden Hits, $19.99. Never mind on Elton John if you have more. That is all I have. That's all I have. Or if you let me know if you still want it.
Was I kidding?
No, that's not the same company. Like I said, last time I got any word from this company, I thought they were discontinued. And
because they got busted.
Just randomly, they showed up in an order. I don't know, warehouse stock.
Copyright violation.
Or maybe they're shipping out the last of their shipments. But I think they got their licensing. They didn't renew it on a lot of those.
I think I'm going to reach out to him
John
and see
Porter,
if you
the
can moderate
Drifters,
my
for
auction.
$16. That's so to John Porter.
$16?
So Berlin, these are all bought now, best offer. It's a recap from tonight. Cornelius' brother, Sister Rose, greatest hits. Too late to turn back now. $24.99.
$25.
Neil Diamond. We've had several Neil Diamond compilations. Here's another one. Double Gold on the Bang label. Shiloh, Do It. That's great stuff there.
Record.
2 LP, $19.99. Paul Brothers wants a Rush puzzle. That's sold to Paul Brothers. Neil Diamond was $19.99. Joni Mitchell Blues, 71 Terre Haute, $64.99.
$64.99.
Not of Elton John.
Wow,
no, not of Elton
not even
John.
a
So James
Columbia
Bragg
Santa
wants to keep the
Maria.
Elton John.
I know.
Thank you. All the puzzles I just had are sold out.
Good.
Kim Carnes, Mistaken Identity. This is in shrink wrap with hop sticker, $9.99.
Ooh, a deal.
That is
Rosemary Clooney with love. This is
$14.99
$14.99 in shrink wrap. Crosby, Stills, Nash,
gonna be
25. New arrivals from tonight.
40.
Don't be afraid to make an offer. We literally have just put these out tonight for the first time, but I'll be a little bit flexible on the prices. If not, they're going out here in the store, and they'll be in the bins for a while before we see them again. Aerosmith Rocks. Original inner sleeve, $24.99 on Aerosmith Rocks. Rita Coolidge, Anytime, Anywhere.
$9.
That is $9.99.
Yep,
Alice Cooper, Special
$24.99.
Alice Cooper, Special Forces. Has the Warner Brothers inner sleeve, $26.99 on Alice
pretty close there.
Cooper. Steve Botsford said he'd give 20 for
You're
Rock.
getting good at
Sell
this,
that to
Patrick.
Steve Botsford. There's Rita Coolidge.
You've been
again.
giving
We had
shit
Alice
away,
Cooper,
dude.
Rita and Elvis Costello and the Attractions, Blood and Chocolate.
$24.99.
$24.99.
I told
Bad
you.
Company, Desolation Angels,
$12.99.
Mr. Tony Murphy.
$20
on
for
Alice
Desolation
Cooper.
Angels?
That's sold to Tony Murphy.
Patrick,
Or I'll trade you for
you're
that
doing it all
autograph.
wrong. Patrick,
Bobby
$9.99.
Turner Overdrive, $14.99.
$14.99.
$14.99. Joni Mitchell, For the Roses.
$50.
Joni Mitchell was $19.99, and Eric Clapton's Rainbow Concert.
$16.
Clapton was, I think we said this was a UK based on the label.
That's not a UK.
No.
Yeah.
Like a UK.
That looks like
Italy.
German. Yeah.
It's from Italy. Ike Turner, The Edge. We have two Ike and Tina
Ike Turner, The Edge.
That's what I
They'll be shown in just a second.
Did you enter that? Oh,
Sunshine
Oh,
Company,
my God.
Sunshine Shadows, $24.99. The Doors' Greatest Hits, $34.99.
Whoa!
Greatest Hits also has the
$10
original
album
sleeve.
max.
That is $34.99. Here in a minute, I'm gonna start mixing in. I'm gonna start mixing in some CDs, stuff I haven't shown before. Neil Brasher wants the Sunshine Company for $20. Sell that to Neil Brasher. Bob Dylan, Street Legal, $34.99. And ABBA, the singles, the first 10 years. This is a 2 LP Near Mint gatefold compilation from ABBA, $34.99. And Neil Young, everybody knows this is
$24.99.
$34.99. Sell Fred Parnell, The Doors for $29.99. That's the greatest hit. Sell that to Fred for $29.99. The Outlaws.
How
and
much
the Eye
is
of
this?
the
It's like a
Storm.
$2 album.
The Outlaws is $19.99. Steve Miller Band's greatest hits, 74 to 78. Somebody the other day bought this on a whim. They'd never listened to Steve Miller Band before, and they was like, "This is great." I was like, "I know." Swingtown, Jungle Love, Take the Money and Run, Rockin' Me, Serenade, Fly Like an Eagle, The Joker's on here,
People
Jet
can read,
Airliner,
dude.
Dance, Dance, Dance. Good stuff. That's an OG. Is that a different one? I guess that's the same Eric Clapton's Rainbow Concert. I got out of order again. Where did we get to? There's Linda Ronstadt. Linda Ronstadt, What's New? That's $9.99.
$2 record.
The Rockets, Make That Move mini LP, specially priced $14.99. Steve Miller Band was $34.99 on Steve Miller Band's greatest hits. The Ricky Nelson singles album, that's $14.99. The Moody Blues on A Threshold of a Dream. Moody Blues is $14.99 on The Threshold of a Dream. And Gonna Take a Miracle, Laura Nero and LaBelle. Laura Nero is $34.99.
$34.99.
The OJ's, Backstabbers.
You're never going to see it.
Terre Haute OG. Really good albums in here tonight. We've already sold, and really good albums still left over that has not sold. The OJ's one of them there. Here's a surprise, because we always see Volume 1. Volume 1's one of the biggest selling albums of all time. Here's the Eagles' Greatest Hits Volume 2. It's $34.99. $34.99 on that one.
Man, this guy.
We have Redbone, Beaded Dreams Through Turquoise Eyes. $29.99. This is in shrink wrap with hot stickers.
I told you guys.
Hendry, the OJ's is $34.99. $34.99. And Hendry and Fred and hold on a second. The OJ's is $34.99. My best price on it tonight.
I got Sade Diamond Light in shrink.
Want it, Fred may want it for
$55.99.
And Paul offered $29 for Steve Miller Band. Sell that to Paul Brothers unless Kristen Barnett wants it. She asked first, but that's sold to Paul Brothers. James Bragg wants the ELO record. ELO, that was.
Is this the
where was ELO?
I don't remember ELO coming in here.
ELO. I don't see an ELO. Or did I just show one? Nope.
Shots fired by Mazzy. Shots fired.
What was that, James? Or maybe there's one about to come up, or I'm not for sure. Michael.
You'd have to add a zero to all these
ABBA
prices.
was $34.99. And I'm going to sell it to Fred for $29.99 unless you want it. You asked right before Fred.
Fred, you better ask your mom permission before you buy that record.
The singles. Sorry, Eagle. Okay. James Bragg wants the Eagle.
This is my comedy.
I got to go watch some TV, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks, Patrick. See you, Patrick. Take care, buddy.
$29.99.
See you Sunday at the auction. So,
thanks.
Sorry about that floor, Arnaldo. Seriously, I apologize for that, man. So.
All right.
Coming up.
Take
well,
care.
That's a good note. Now you've seen the future.
Oh my God.
Well, I got to tell you, I've been following this guy I've been in his shop. You've been in 11 hours? Well, I've been there. Yeah. And I just, I don't know. It just, and people are, I got a buddy, that he was on my stream once, Armando Cordoso, and he opened a place across from the silos in Waco, Chip and Joanna Gaines' place. Yep. Yeah, he opened a record shop there, and he's selling stuff, for $8, $10. This guy's selling it for $34.
It's an interesting business model. I've talked to friends, record shop owners of mine, and they've tried to they reach out to Chad and talk to him about the strategy and so forth. But it goes back to what we were saying earlier: is these people in remote areas that don't know any better, or like we saw on the reissue thing, they just don't want to do the work. It's just right there for them.
But he overgrades stuff too, because I physically bought and seen stuff.
David, there was no grading. There was no one.
Yeah, once in a while he'll say excellent, or he'll say something, but you don't know. You're right.
That's what I think I've heard him say a couple times.
Yeah. It's in good shape, meaning it's round, I guess. I don't know.
Well, guys,
yeah, I mean that's as good a comedy as you're going to get, my friends.
Well, guys, it was a good run. That'll probably be the last live stream because Chad's going to come and get the attorneys on us and shut us down for lampooning his operation and put me out of business. So nice knowing you. It was a great stream while we had it going, but Coleco now owns us. Funny. All right, guys. Well, let's wind it down again. Thank you for joining me. Another fun. Always ending on a laugh. That's always what makes us. David, thank you for serving that up because I hadn't watched it in a minute, but I mean, it's. Here, I'm gonna give Vance the last word on that whole enterprise. What a chode! Yeah, I think that's.
Well, it's the traditional buyer beware, right?
That's true. Hey, real fast while we have people. Yeah. Tomorrow is going to be, and I kind of teased it earlier. Arnaldo, and myself and some other folks. We are doing a series of conversations about Kiss. So if you're doing the podcast, which I hope most people watching are, that'll drop tomorrow and the video will be Monday. It's kind of a holiday bookend. More to come there, but that's all I got. So Thank you for watching. Thanks for coming on, guys. And we'll do it easy.
Have a great weekend, holiday weekend. See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.